Okay, I'm on. How does that look? Oh, you can't see me. Yeah. I'm sitting here talking to you on the phone, looking at myself, waiting for... You can hear. Okay, you can hear good. For those of you who may be wondering, I'm on the phone with LPH, who's in another room, so that we can make sure that this is doing right, since obviously we're in a completely different place this time, not in the office/gaming room, but actually in the museum. And I don't know how well that's scrolling. And there's Robert's Just a Fan. Hello, hello. Everything look okay? There's Jughead. There's Johnny. Robert's Just a Fan again. Happy Saturday, all. Thank you. I just want to make sure that it looks and sounds right. And Kaiser Kaiju says that it is. Everything's working. Yeah, we're doing it remotely from the museum room. I don't think we can really move around. I sound funny? How come? I haven't told any jokes yet. Looks fine. Sound is weird, but I can hear you fine 100%. My voice sounds Vaderish. Is that what it is? James Finn, happy Saturday. How you doing? Does that chair get stiff? Well, the chair doesn't move. It's not like a swivel chair, like an office chair. And John Franzek, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, says it sounds right. And is the mic from the camera? Yes, the mic is on the camera. The microphone's on the camera. We don't have an alternate mic plugged in. And that's LPH. And also, it could be my voice anyways, because my voice is a little hoarse.
Okay, wait, we gotta zoom in.
Do we?
Too much in
There's nothing wrong with the way you look.
Oh.
David,
hi, everybody.
David Vader.
Oh, that's who you are now?
Yeah.
David Vader. We are in the museum. As you can see, we are so... What, you missed the auction?
Yeah, of course.
We've been wanting to come in the museum for the longest. And we finally got a chance to come into the museum because we got a camera now. So happy Saturday. Hopefully all of you had a very uneventful week with not a lot going on in your personal life, even though a lot is going on in the world. Mm-hmm. Do we need to turn on the light? Oh, I did something.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I don't know.
She's always moving things around.
Because I was wondering if we needed the light, but I don't think so. It looks pretty good.
Play with it.
This out of the way.
Don't spill that everywhere.
I know, right? That's all we need.
There's got cables all over the place.
John Frozak. Hi, how are you?
I can't even access it.
Seeing your name, so I'm happy that you have taken the time to join us on this Saturday.
I'm going to end up accidentally unplugging something because I can't.
Well, you better leave it alone then. Hey, Brandon.
Did that even make a difference?
No, not hardly. That's cool. I think the lighting is fine.
I don't know what's going on.
Let's see. Yeah, it kind of sounds like the news shows where the guy, the shadow, and the voice muffled. Hey, Jughead, how are you?
How did you know that was me? I was shadowed and muffled.
Say what? Happy Saturday, everyone. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you.
And Lake Cross likes the new setup.
Oh, yeah. Again, now that we have the new camera, we can bring it downstairs into the museum and we can do our screens from here. So that's what we've been wanting to do. And that's what, so.
And somebody, John says, "Happy Batman Day." Is it Batman Day?
Yeah, I saw that on Bing.
Every day is some day, something or other.
Yeah,
and you don't know.
You don't know what's what anymore. But anyway, again, hopefully everybody had a very uneventful week. That was pleasant. Not too much going on to really, get you going. Too bad. Nothing like traumatizing.
There's Brandy Kentucky mug.
Yeah.
Say what?
See the floor. Oh, you won't get to see any cat today.
No cats.
Because they're not, well, one can come down here, but not the other.
Yeah.
The one
Kitty can come down here because she doesn't jump on things.
Yeah.
Except for me.
Likes to jump on the stuff and rub his face on the statues and knock things down.
Yeah.
So he can't come down with that. Yeah, we're early today. Happy accident. Thank you for the card. Ooh, I can show. Thank you for the card. We got it. We did the video.
Yeah.
He did a custom card for Masters of the Universe bootleg figures.
No. Huh? No, he did not.
Happy accident?
No.
He did the
You're mixing things up.
Oh, okay.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
Let me stop
talking. Why don't you stop talking?
Yeah. Let me stop talking.
Silence, woman. Now the happy accident. If you saw our discussion video this week, where I was talking about how basically all these toy companies are zeroing in on and taking advantage of nostalgia from adult collectors. The intro and outro from that video was actually done courtesy of Happy Accident.
Yes,
Happy
he did
Accident
the intro.
Did that intro and that outro for us.
Yeah, I got him.
So if you like that, if you saw that video and you like that intro, you know who to thank for it. That's Happy Accident.
He did a wonderful job. I love the music, and the animation that he did was great. So thank you for the intro.
He did a good job on it. It
looks really good. It really does. Yvonne, I made it. I'm glad that you made it.
Yes.
My pleasure.
You were thinking of
Evil Horde Trooper. He did the customized card back for my Masters of the Universe bootleg figures, and we did a video on that showing the card back that he made, and he did the bubble, and we put everything because I told y'all we were gifted the figures, and I bought some comic books, the little miniature comic books, and Evil Horde did the card, and we put it all together, and it looks really good now.
Yeah, you'll see that on her next like Masters of the Universe Journey video. And who was that? BrolyCon. Did you guys get any of the PowerCon exclusive figures? Maybe. Actually, I did manage to get the Mondo Hordak PowerCon exclusive.
He wanted that.
I got a message from Mondo, and I got that. They didn't give it to me, but I got it.
He's not that lucky.
I'm not that special. I'm not Pixel Dan sitting here.
Oh.
But if when I get it, I'll do it as an unboxing, of course. And that's the one they should have done anyway. That was my initial complaint with the whole thing with the Hordak. I was like, this is the most expensive one you've done yet. And I felt like they dropped the ball with the Hordak that they released. And I was like, they could have done so much better with it. They could have given him an imp. They could have given him a Filmation style head. And then they come out with it for PowerCon. It's like, oh crap, how am I ever going to get that? But I actually did manage to get one.
And Robert was asking, but we already answered it, if I got the mini comics to put on the blisters yet. And I did. I put the whole thing together already. We did a video. So David will put it out when he puts it out, and you'll get to see that whole thing. And I'm very happy with that, the way it all looked, the way it came out. I think it's really nice. So,
Yeah.
Is it me, or is the sound kind of suppressed, or something not a huge issue?
It could just be because, I got a little bit of a hoarse throat right now anyways, but so I might sound a little deeper, but it is the mic on the camera.
What's it doing?
Well, it might not be because it's such a big room. Maybe it's having trouble picking up properly.
Oh, okay. And maybe next time we'll try using the
I could try to boost it. I mean, you
yeah,
get the
we can see if that works.
see if this helps any.
Next time we probably can
I'm
try
just pressing
using
buttons.
we have some external microphones. We could try
Yeah.
using an external microphone.
I've had issues with external microphones before, though.
Robert says, David, I'm getting into classic comics lately. Been buying the soft cover Marvel Masterworks with the black covers and art, and been buying the Batman Chronicles Volume Classic Batman. Okay.
That's interesting.
New action figures are so expensive. It is. It's getting up there.
And it's better to buy the vintage. And, you know, I always gravitate to the vintage, but the new stuff is getting real expensive. And that's what I was talking about in that video, because there's a lot of problems with that. And the industry, they're not doing a good job. They're not doing a good job, and the price is going up constantly.
Yeah.
There's Out of Sight. There's Craig Davis.
Hey, Craig. Hey, Out of Sight. I can't read that one with the BRO. The sound is lower. Oh, BrolyCon. The sound is lower than the older videos. Yeah. Okay. And like we said, we're trying this out. On the next video, we'll have an external microphone, and we'll see if that helps out at all. Did you get the Mondo exclusive Hordak? Yeah, David did.
I was just talking about that.
Yeah, Graphic Man is here. Hi.
Hi. So hopefully we can get that. Hopefully the microphone's not too much of an issue.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
But let's see how it goes.
But yeah, again, back to the discussion. That's the three tiers of manufacturing, and how these high end toy companies aren't satisfying any of them. And you need at least two in order to produce a good product for your customers. And they're not doing it. And I went into a lot of detail on that. So hopefully a lot of people got something out of that video.
Let's see. Robert says, have any of you been getting any comics lately? That Swamp Thing omnibus you picked up looks awesome and looks expensive.
I got the stack right there. I can show you.
Oh yeah, get your so now then, we can show people stuff.
Brandon says it sounds okay.
Okay, good.
Oh, BrolyCon, what do you think of Sunman coming to Motu? I rarely remember that toy, but I think it's great. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, that was what, Oleg Toys, I think, made Sunman. And it was an interesting concept at the time. Basically, it was another knockoff. It was like what Remco did. But a lot of people seem to remember it really well, even though I never saw it on shelves. I don't remember ever seeing it. But since it was so closely associated with Masters of the Universe, Mattel finally, I guess, was able to get their hooks into that license.
But, Robert is asking who exactly is Sunman. And I saw the story on Sunman this week, and basically it was a parent had a son, little black boy. And I guess, and my guess is the boy asked for a He-Man figure for Christmas.
He wanted He-Man.
And she couldn't find a black character. So she made a character and called it Sunman.
Yeah.
And
she said that she saw him playing with the little He-Man and didn't see how he could
relate. You know.
He's a little kid. He don't care.
The kid could relate. Mom couldn't relate. So she made him a figure. And it was Sunman. And I think it only had one other character. And it wasn't like an animal or something.
Pigman.
Pigman.
I don't know if they made them all, because I've never seen but like a couple.
Yeah.
Ever. And you can get like $700-800 for Sunman on the card.
Yeah, you can get like $500 for him loose. So now they made it, and they had it on Mattel website, and it sold out. It sold out quick. Now you can find it on eBay for like $300.
And that's what I was saying. Happy Accident says he was able to score the Sunman. Wow. A lot of people were pissed because I think it sold out in like 2 minutes.
Good for you.
Oh, the Punisher jacket. Yeah, that's right. You notice that is the Punisher jacket. I love the interior there.
What did it say?
Oh no, see the pattern?
Oh, okay. It's a Punisher all over the place. Yeah. In all kind of directions.
And that sounds like a cool story. Hold up. Was it Zodiac or Zodak, actually, black.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah, because on the cartoon,
his figure was dark.
Yeah, he was dark,
but on the cartoon you couldn't really tell.
You knew he wasn't white.
Yeah,
but you know,
and then
he kind of fell in the middle.
Definitely was in 200X though.
He definitely was black there. Clamp Champ didn't come out until like 86 or 7. So probably when she was looking for a figure, she didn't see one. So because she didn't see one, she made one. And that's how you got Sunman.
Yeah, and there's Fabio.
And Eric.
Yeah, Fabio.
Hi guys, David. Marvel or DC? Dukes of Hazzard or Masters? See, those are Dukes of Hazzard and Masters. They're two different veins because one is a live action and the other one is a cartoon. And Dukes of Hazzard is like, to me, it's on a totally different plane. So you can't really put the two together. Because now, if you said Masters of the Universe versus Thundercats or Dukes of Hazzard and Knight Rider, then that seemed like that would pair up a little better. But
they fight the system. Any system. Any system. That's what they said. They'll fight the system.
They fight the system. Any system.
Any system.
They're all about just screwing over the man.
Fabio says, hi guys, good to see you again. Glad I caught your live stream this week. Glad you could make it. Yeah. Anyway, somebody was asking about comic books. I do have I'll just show them up here while she's talking. It's a bundle, and I know there's a lot of reflection, but you know, you can this is all from the same person, one owner. He was kind of
bunch of Thor stuff.
Yeah, Journey into Mystery and Thor. Nothing wrong with that.
That's what he got recently. I bought Man Thing, the omnibus, so I can start reading that.
Yeah.
I'm going to start reading my Swamp Thing. I was reading the Masters of the Universe one, but I can't finish that because Teela is just too much. I can't do it. You know, she is just awful.
Sunman was in the 80s. Sunman was in the 80s during the original Mattel release.
Yeah.
Robert was asking there. And Johnny says, want to take a guess if I bought the 1885 Back to the Future releases? Yeah, I bet you got those on pre-order too. There's another $600. No, I can't fault you. If you like it, you like it. But I think that Hot Toys should have spaced that out better. Because, you know, at least give it a couple of months so people can pull themselves together. But doing it like a week, that's like what they do with the Marvel stuff, and people can't keep up. If you ever see the old thing where people have a wall full of pictures and yarn and thumbtacks trying to figure stuff out, that's how people who have a whole bunch of Hot Toys pre-orders try to figure out their finances, because they will have you strung out all over the place. Yeah, see, Johnny was like, I agree, wait like 6 months, give us a chance. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I really miss the days when you bought comics 3-pack without the comic covers. I don't know. I just started buying comics like a couple of months ago.
Let me see. I'm loving the new 4Kids He-Man and Masters of the Universe. Top tier art, animation design, voice talent. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen either of them, but I have been hearing that people are liking the kiddie version better than Kevin Smith's.
Of the Masters of the Universe?
That's what I've been hearing people say, that they like the kiddie version better. Sorry, Kevin. You blew it. You had your chance. You had your chance.
People are really upset about that.
Money in
Kevin
the bank.
Smith.
Money in the bank. He don't care.
No.
He does not care. He's laughing all the way to the
bank. Yeah,
because
you get paid before the product even come out.
Yeah.
So it's
he's all done. He's forgot all about that, and he's working on Clerks 3.
Yeah. David, one thing I can say though, the faces on the 1885 release looks a lot better than last week figures.
Yeah, they did a good job on the sculpts. They did, actually.
Happy Accident. I'm loving the new 4K. Okay, you read that one already. I missed the days going into the gas station and buying comic books.
You could find rack books anywhere back then. You remember this? Here's something that's gone away completely, I think, now. Corner newsstands. Remember when they used to have like the like, and you see in movies where the guy is out on the street and he's got like a box that opens up and it's all magazines and stuff hanging in there and newspapers and candy bars or something. They don't have that really anymore, I don't think. I haven't seen one in years, but they used to sell comic books there. You could get them in the bookstore. You could get them at the drugstore. They sold comics everywhere. They don't do that anymore because comics is dying.
I feel
comics is dying. Where'd your notepad go? You hit it. She hit my notepad. She does it on purpose.
Let's see.
In case I need to write something down.
I feel figures should stay 200 and under. I agree. No higher. Maybe once in a while, I might buy a figure for 600. Very, very rare. What He-Man cartoon? It is ladies' time.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
And he likes the animation. He thought the animation was good.
Yeah. Jughead, I think it was Jughead was asking about the figures behind us.
Which ones?
Earlier. I don't know.
Tell us which ones you're talking about.
Okay.
He says the Kevin Smith movies are boo boo.
Yeah.
They're boo boo.
I
don't like a lot of them, honestly. I like the original Clerks. That's classic. And the animated series Clerks is underrated. I think there's only like 6 episodes. A lot of what he did as an older adult, going back and looking at it, it's almost painful. I can't sit through it. It's so vulgar and so much adolescent humor that I couldn't enjoy it. And as a matter of fact, even what was it? Something about Amy?
Chasing Amy.
Chasing Amy. I turned it off after 10 minutes trying to rewatch it because I was like, wow, I do not remember it being this just vulgar and childish. And it's like I couldn't listen to their dialogue anymore. But I don't know.
James Finn, good to see you.
Eric Sanchez.
Oh yeah, Eric Sanchez says he can't wait for the Mondo Battle Cat and Panther.
Yeah, Mondo is doing a Battle Cat. Yeah, for the He-Man figure.
Oh wow!
And
I didn't see that.
They're doing She-Ra, and I've seen sketches for it. They didn't show it at this show, but I've seen sketches for a Trapjaw. This should be interesting. It's James Finn.
James Finn, good to see y'all both. Tonight been a rough week. Wife offered a new job many miles away that would require a major move.
Yeah.
Love the Sigmund and Freud.
Sigmund and the Sea Monster.
Major move.
He's talking about Sigmund and the Sea Monster.
Yeah.
From the Living Toys action figure series. Sid and Marty Croft. They made these in 2000. And these were actually a gift from a viewer.
Yeah.
And they only made the 4. They only made the 4 figures, and that hardly counts. I think she's got 3 points of articulation. But I big fan of old school Sid and Marty Croft. Especially Sigmund. I loved Sigmund.
Brandon was asking how our weekend's been this so far. Our weekend is usually pretty quiet on the weekend, on Saturdays, because we don't do much on Saturdays. We go walking. You know, sometimes we might go to the park or something like that. But that's all we do on Saturdays. On Sundays, we usually do stuff like yard work or stuff or something like that. I have a question. Do you think Mattel should have bought Filmation or go in business with them? That way they would have had the animation studio produce all their toys as show.
I don't know. They kind of stumbled into that because they weren't planning on doing a cartoon, but they needed to come up with something to sell the product. And they had made like an animated short, and that short is lost. Some of the cells are out there, but the show is lost. I don't think it's available anywhere. And it ended up going into a full production show because it looked so freaking good. They were like, yeah, this will work. But I don't know if they'll ever come together or come to terms because Filmation properties, some of the stuff that they did, they know they got Mattel by the cojones, and Mattel, they know they need each other, but merging together, I don't know about that. Jughead says the ones behind, upper or lower, because these are these are the Fisher Price Adventure People, Alpha series and X-Ray series. And then these are the
Shogun Warriors.
The 3 and 5 inch Mattel Shogun Warrior diecast figures.
Robert likes Kevin, but not his movies. Happy Accident is one of the few who actually likes Revelation. It is what if story in an alternate universe. I went in cold with no expectation, and I liked it so much. I watched it back to back 5 times in a row.
The thing that pissed everybody off was that Kevin wasn't honest about what he was doing. He said, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be like a continuation. It's a love letter to the fans. All this other stuff." And when people said, "Hey, are you going somewhere with this where Teal is going to be the main attraction?" "Oh no, we're not doing that." And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
If he had been honest from the get-go, I don't think people would have had as much of a problem with what he was trying to do there.
Hey Kenny, how are you? Potter. Johnny, speaking of Sid and Marty Croft, there is a live stream interview with the cast of Land of the Lost and Sigmund today. David, can I post the link here?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I wonder if the original dad's going to talk about what they did to him. If you remember, there's 3 seasons, and it was like one of their best shows because it was not a comedy show. It was a drama. It was a live action Saturday morning drama. And the first 2 seasons, dad's there. 3rd season, the dad's gone, and it's the uncle suddenly. And nobody liked that, and it killed the show. But it was because they were cheating him, and he went in there and he was like, "Hey man, I want my money," and they were like, "You're fired." So I wonder if he talks about that in that if he's there. I'm not even sure if he's still alive.
Kenny thinks that we go to the club after live streams. It's interesting doing research. Johnny wants to know, did we buy any of the Walmart Scooby Doo figures? No. I'm not a fan of Scooby Doo. I've never been.
I never was really either. I was never that big on Scooby.
I like the pup named Scooby Doo. That came out, I think, in the 90s.
Yeah.
That was funny.
To me, even as a kid, it felt like I was watching the same show over and over. It was always the same exact plot. And what's funny too is if you ever saw the live action Kiss movie, it's the same plot as like a Scooby-Doo episode, and it was produced by Hanna-Barbera. Hanna-Barbera produced the Kiss movie, which explains a lot.
It's interesting doing research on Filmation and how it went out of business. I just thought having an animation studio would have been a good investment for their toys.
Keep in mind, it's towards the end of the 80s. They were getting away from using cartoons as a platform to sell toy lines. So it's not something, especially when you figure, God, what year was it? The early 90s. Even Disney got rid of their animation studio. They fired over 5,000 artists so that they could basically hire 50 people to do CGI. A lot of places were getting rid of that in the early 90s. Even the late 80s, it was dropping off. The whole premise of, okay, we're going to throw out a cartoon show and sell toys and make money was kind of dying.
I saw some Scooby-Doo figures at Walmart, says Kaiser. James Finn, Red State by Kevin Smith. He earned my respect. I never heard of Red State.
I don't know if I saw that.
The biggest mistake was Smith saying it was a continuation of Filmation series.
I think that's where he put his foot in his mouth first.
Yeah. He should have just said
he didn't say that. This is
doing a rendition or
a fan realization, because they do that in the comics all the time. Comic books do it all the time.
Johnny Future, yes, Spencer Milligan will be part of the interview.
Okay.
Robert, next up, Kevin Smith, Thundercats. Don't even say it. He might hear you and do it. But they've been talking about a live action Thundercats for a long time.
Yeah, since like the 90s. There's Patrick Peluso.
Hey, Patrick.
How you doing?
Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
That was the name of it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Their acting was abysmal in that. They didn't study the lines. They were drunk every morning. They would come on the set and they would just sit there and yell line, and then someone would say it, and then they just repeat what they heard. That's how bad it was. Can you imagine having to be a director and working with those 4? Oh my God.
Happy Accident. I don't understand why Motu fans take issue with Teela getting a couple of episodes as lead. I mean, since when did Teela become a hated character? I mean, honestly, I hate Teela. I have never even from Filmation. I'm serious. I've never liked her character. I really don't. I've never liked her character. She's like real stuck up. She's a snob. She doesn't do anything. She's very rude and disrespectful. And they had that episode where she basically just blew off Queen Marlena and nobody corrected her
even
or
in
said
Filmation.
anything
There's
about
a
it.
few episodes, like if you think about it, because remember we've been rewatching it for the last couple of months, a couple episodes at a time, and there's even times where they're before the king and queen, and then she'll say something out of turn, and Duncan's like, "Hush, child," like that.
She's just very rude and disrespectful.
Telling her to tone it down.
And then she's the captain of the guard, and the castle is always under attack. She always goes off somewhere, and I just never liked her. And then 200X, she got worse. In the mini comics, her character wasn't so bad. In the newspaper scripts, it wasn't so bad.
She's read everything.
Yeah, but now I'm on this other comic.
The omnibus with all the comic book renditions.
And the very first set, Skeletor is taking over Castle Grayskull and wiped everybody's memory. And oh my gosh, she is just unbearable. And I'm trying to get through it. And now I just threw my hands up because the sorceress dies. They're at the funeral. And she's like, I never liked her anyway. I can't believe you named her after me. I mean, she's just horrible. Her character is just awful. And so I'm a quit.
William Randall says he's at work and he can't hear us.
Oh,
machine noise. Factory noises.
Oh, you work at a factory?
This Hunter Mars.
Hey, Hunter Mars. Last time I checked, and Spencer Milligan lived here in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
in Door County.
That's the actor who played the father.
That rocks and roll, David.
That's rock and roll, David. The kiss and how they are. That's why they look so bad now. that hard living. A lot of those rock stars, they don't hold up too well when they get older. John wants to know what's behind LPH. Another person wants to know what's behind you.
Where's John?
Down here. Down here is LJN's SWAT. And the rookies. And then this is the Mattel Shogun 5-inch and 3-inch die-cast figures. And then these are Fisher Price Adventure People up here. And then way up here is the original Space 1999 from Mattel.
Let's see. Happy Accident. I wonder what LPH will think of Tila in the new kids series. You gotta watch it and get back to us.
Well, if it's on Netflix, we won't see it.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
We don't have Netflix.
I mean, I would like her character if she was useful, if she wasn't so disrespectful, even if she was useless. The sorceress is pretty useless. But
in Filmation,
she's pretty useless.
If you really paying attention, again, like I said, in the last couple of months, we've been rewatching this and really picking it apart. Most of the time, He-Man kind of gives people busy work to get rid of him. Really, it's like, Tila, why don't you go over here and do this?
Yeah,
and then
she always got that stupid freeze ray.
Man-at-Arms, maybe you should wait here by the attack track. And he just kind of blows them off, except for Ram Man and Orko.
Yeah.
Ram Man and Orko are real useful. Even Battle Cat's kind of useless. He just sits there and growls a lot, and then he ends up in a pit or something.
But the sorceress is like a prisoner. She can't even leave the castle.
And then she does stupid stuff, like she sends him a telepathic message. He-Man, there's danger. Come to the castle immediately. And then he runs his ass all the way to the castle so she can tell him something. She could have given him the message telepathically. And then he was already out there. Now he's going to run all the way back to where he already was to fix whatever the problem is. She's always doing stuff like that. It doesn't make sense. And then the one that really pissed me off is that she was like, I'm going to have to come with you this time. Let me go get what was it? It was a crystal or something.
Some stupid
And she was like, I need this so I can leave the castle. Wait, bitch, you can leave the castle? what the hell? And all you have to do is take this rock with you, or whatever it was. I forget what it was.
Something I don't remember.
And she went out with him to some like abandoned city or whatever they were doing. And you don't have to turn into Zoar to leave.
No,
you can go around.
She can just leave. And then the newspaper script, like every so many years, I can't remember how many years, the sorceress has to prove themselves worthy to continue to be the sorceress. And if they're not worthy, then I don't know, the sorcery is taken away and all of that. So she makes herself to be who she was before she was the sorceress. Doesn't tell anybody, just tells Orko to stay at Castle Grayskull. I'll be back. And then she goes out and things are just a mess, and she is held prisoner and she's captured. She can't turn into Zoar. She can't do nothing. And it's like, why'd you go out there? At least tell He-Man what you're doing. She finally got useful and saved some little kid or something. I don't know.
That is ridiculous. James says he's jealous of the Space 1999. Don't be jealous.
Oh.
You could get some someday. Pick them off one piece at a time. That's the 9-inch series, 3 figures in the playset over there in the corner. That's the original playset sealed, the Moonbase Alpha. But they also have there's the Dinky sets. I don't have any Dinky sets. And then there's the actual Mattel playset with the little 2-inch figures. And that's a grail of mine that I'm always on the lookout for. And every time I see one, it's all smashed up, or it's missing half the pieces or something.
Let's see. Robert, I always was fond of that dragon with the motorcycle helmet. Oh, that's
Grandemir.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
They made Classics made 2 figures of him.
Yeah, I have one.
A regular one and like a con exclusive.
Yeah, one is green and one is purple,
red.
I think.
Red.
Purple or red.
Red's his original color. Yeah. And I think the green is a throwback to the mini comic. Because he was in the mini comic also.
Yeah. Happy accident. No Netflix. Boo. Maybe
Oops.
There's a free 7-day trial you can find to watch a couple times.
I don't know.
No, we don't support
That's what people
Netflix.
Tell us about Disney. And that's what people do. And Disney knows it too.
Yeah.
They get the thing long enough to like binge watch a show and then they cancel it again over and over again. I think half the people that watch Disney have had the account like 6 times this year.
Everyone is pretty much on equal grounds as far as screen time goes in the new series. And it's not like anybody takes a back seat. It's really great team based now, I guess.
Well, we haven't seen it.
Ram Man and Evelyn are my favorite characters so far in the new series. Robert says you should show him off. The dragon, I need it. I mean, he's cool. What you looking for?
I thought Grandemir was up.
It's right here. On the other side of this thing here.
Oh, geez, yeah. I walked right past it.
Yeah. David.
It's in the box, though. That's her Grandemir.
That's about all you're gonna see.
She's not gonna open that.
Yeah, but he's been in 2 episodes so far, but I think he's in actually 3 episodes. But so far, we've seen the 2 episodes he's in. But yeah, that's Grandemir.
It's a big figure.
Yeah, it is. And I got him like super cheap.
She always has the best luck.
Let's see what happened. Hit a speed bump. Oh, I guess. Oh, because David kicked the thing.
Yeah.
David, I'm pumped. Oh, he PM'd you the link.
Okay.
Johnny Future.
Yeah.
Action figure expert. Hello, what's up? What's going on? How are you doing? Happy Batman Day. Yep. Let's see. Just a reminder that Cuties is still up on Netflix.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
Thanks. I know what that is now.
Yeah. Gilgamesh is here. How y'all doing? That's awesome. Plus the new theme song gets me. I heard the new theme song on the trailer. I Need a Hero. Is that the actual theme song? I can talk about the new series for hours. Maybe I should do a discussion. Now, if you've actually seen it, because we saw some videos talking about the new He-Man, but nobody talked about the actual episodes. They all seem to like listen to one person and say the same thing over and over. Oh, it's a show about Teela. Oh, He-Man is killed in the first scene, but nobody ever said who killed He-Man, how did he die? You know, nobody ever said anything about the show, what's going on with the show. How did He-Man die? Why did he die? How did Teela become whoever she is, the leader of the group, or anything? They just say, oh, it's like they compared it to some Star Wars movie. So it's like, did you actually watch it? Or did you watch this one person say something and then you just copy their words? And then they all showed like the critic reviews.
Well, I think a lot of channels jumped on that bandwagon because they knew that, and they knew it was drawing attention to their channels. There's Zom.
Yeah.
And James wants to know about if you have the '89 Batmobile.
Yeah, I have
the Kenner,
not
right?
the one. No, not the Kenner. I have the Jada Metal.
Because you got the Kenner animated series Batmobile.
That wasn't by Kenner. That was by DC Collectibles.
No, not the big one. You got other Batmobiles.
Yeah. The animated series, yeah.
And he appreciates you tipping him off on the Jesse Stone series. He's enjoyed it.
Oh wow, you watching Jesse Stone? It is a
really good Tom Selleck as Jesse Stone.
That's a good show.
I wish that had been a weekly show. That was a really, really well done.
I wish they did more with it. I like his character. I like his attitude in it. You can tell that he's just sad and he's depressed. I like the relationship he had with the dog, and then the dog died. And he called him his conscience.
He's always looking at me.
Yeah. and by the time him and the dog actually connected, the dog died. And then he got another one.
Yeah,
just like
stumbled across another one.
Yeah. That's a really good show.
It is.
I didn't realize, well, he did a movie, I think in the 80s or the late 70s, like 78, 79, or in the 80s, where he was like a computer programmer or something.
I don't remember.
He did something with computers and he was really good. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize Tom Selleck was a decent actor, because all I ever knew him from was Magnum P.I. And I didn't care for the show. But then watching Jesse Stone, I was like, wow, okay, he's actually a pretty good actor. I like how he relates to the people in the show. It's a good show.
Guess who's in here?
Who?
Pony Boy.
Oh,
Pony Boy's in here.
You see his name
from Spain.
That's why it's gonna be hard for me to read now, because this is a little tiny screen.
It slipped up.
I thought I saw his name. Hey, how you doing? It was good meeting you.
Yeah, he was, and you were very helpful trying to keep that chat going too. That's
we had a good time. Just curious, when you gonna finally watch Back to the Future? I watched it at work. Well, I didn't watch it. It was on.
It was on in the background. One of the films.
It was the first one where he went back to the past and he saw his mom.
Through time in it?
Yeah, he saw his mom when the mom was in high school. And everything.
Okay.
I saw that. And that was it. I like Todd as an artist, but sucks as a consistency. He was
McFarlane Toys. McFarlane Toys. He brought concepts from comic books to toys that I don't appreciate, and that was all of the deliberate repaints and factory accidents and oops, we got to make another version and all of that. He started that in mainstream toys in the early 90s with the original Spawn line, and he copied the concept from all the multiple cover ideas and things that were coming out of comic books at the time, and it's he doesn't always do the best work with that. So I don't know.
Okay, James Finn is asking, was the dog judging Jesse's drinking? Yeah.
Well, the dog knew he wasn't happy. The dog sensed his depression.
He was very depressed, and the wife got on my nerves. he called her and she called him like every day, and he would drink, and he needed a case to not drink, and the dog saw that, and the dog knew it. Zombie says I need to watch Back to the Future series. James Finn saying Runaway. I know that's a TV show.
Runaway is that the movie with Tom Selleck? That sounds familiar. I wonder if he's telling you the name of the movie.
Oh, the one I was talking about from the 80s or 70s or 80s. And Robert wants to know, am I going to get the Mondo Mr. Freeze? I actually thought about it because I saw it and it looks good, but I'm not going to get it. I got the Mondo Batman because I got a little idea in mind and I need a Batman for it. I do like to collect certain Mortal Kombat from McFarlane.
Okay.
They photograph well. Oh, okay. Happy Accident does photographs. I like the photographs some people do.
Oh, and John says, that Tom Selleck could have been Indiana Jones. Yeah, I had heard that. But they wanted to cast him for it. They wanted to cast a few people before they ended up with Harrison Ford. You're welcome, Pony Boy.
Johnny says that hearing is not watching. Hearing a movie is not watching.
Yeah.
Runaways was with both Tom Selleck and Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Yeah.
Action figure says
bye.
He has to leave. Well, thank you for stopping by. I hope. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate it. I can't see anyone else portraying Indiana Jones but Harrison Ford. Yeah, because once a person gets into a role, you can't really imagine anybody else doing it. I think the green Granomere is one of the few pieces missing from my otherwise classic collection. Someday, yeah, it's a nice figure. I bought mine on eBay, but I've seen it at shows. Gotta give McFarlane credit. When he started out, he really upped the game for making other companies making better figures and sculpts.
Yeah, but then you're getting better sculpts, but the quality, the overall quality in other areas fell off as a result. So it's not like you got quality and what they were already doing. You lost other things. That look at NECA. The glitch in the Matrix is here. What are you laughing at?
What do you say? David, can you give us a warning before LPH does her unboxing video of her new Funko Pop? She just purchased. The intervention is needed. Hey, it's Distorted Reality. Hey, guys. Hey, how you doing? I got some pops coming, and I just got some in the mail.
Shame.
There's nothing wrong with Funko. I don't know why y'all hate so bad. Do you collect the 90s Batman cartoon toys?
Well, you got a couple of the vehicles. The animated series.
Yeah, the animated series. The vehicles, not the figures.
Shouldn't have any figures.
I don't have any figures, but I do have a few vehicles. I thought the He-Man dragon was pink in the cartoons. Was it? It was like I think it had a pink chest and like a red body or something. I don't remember, honestly.
And I really don't. Crazy 70s looking biker helmet.
Yeah. I honestly don't remember. But now that you said it, does seem like I remember seeing something with like a pink chest and a red body. But I honestly don't know. I don't remember. I think they wanted Chris Pratt for the for the supposed indie reboot. Oh wow.
Indiana Jones.
I heard it's going to be a woman now. Indiana Jones.
They're going to kill it. They already ruined it with Crystal Skull because people won't even acknowledge that film.
Who is Crystal Skull?
The fourth installment of Indiana Jones.
Oh, I didn't see that.
People are cool with the first three movies. They're cool with the Indiana Jones Chronicles, which actually wasn't a bad show. And then Crystal Skull came out, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And and that's probably what's going to happen with this next one.
Johnny Future, Downey is Batman. Yeah. Keaton is, Downey is Iron Man. Keaton is Batman, and Reeves is Superman. I like that Henry as Superman.
Okay, yeah. Henry Cavill.
Yeah, he's good looking. I agree with you, John. Like in the new set, yeah, Motu Revelation Smith still was not very good. Just my thought. And thank you for sharing your thought. Like I said, we didn't see it, and we have not so far heard anybody say what the show is actually. Well, not what the show is about, but nobody ever gave a good review. And when I say good review, like tell you what the show is about, like what happened. So, but it's, if I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. We don't have Netflix, but if somehow we happen on Netflix, I would watch it just to see. But I ain't really thinking about it.
And Hugh Jackman is Wolverine.
Okay.
It's not
side
on
there, note. Oh,
what?
Side note: Paul Dini, He-Man, creates Batman, the animated series, and he created Harley Quinn. Okay. Batman, the animated series is good. That's my favorite cartoon of all time. Amen Reeves' Superman will always be classic. I never felt anyone was his successor. I thought Tom Welling would be a good successor, but he pretty much crapped on the character.
Well, the first two, to be fair, Christopher Reeve Superman films, because the third and fourth one weren't very well thought out, and the fourth one was almost slapstick. I mean, they didn't do a good job on the second two films, but the first two films also, they were written together. They were written to go together, and that's part of the reason why they worked so well. There's Paul Robotnik.
Hey, Paul Robotnik.
He says, I hope you're having a great weekend. Have you added anything new to your Star Wars collection lately? He's been getting some from Whatnot auctions this weekend. No, I haven't added anything new.
Whatnot is a website, isn't it? I think I heard of it before. It's like Let Go and Offer Up, I think.
Gilgamesh says Bond is the only character I can think of that people are okay with there being multiple actors for.
They got a new girl now. They're a black girl.
Yeah, they're trying to shoehorn her in as the next Bond.
James Finn, favorite Bond, least favorite. I never saw a James Bond film. I don't like those kind of movies.
I got the collection. It goes all the way up to GoldenEye from the original one. But originally it was Sean Connery, obviously.
I thought somebody was before Sean Connery.
No, it was Sean Connery, and then there was what was the name of the guy? He did one. He did one. It was on Her Majesty's Secret Service, and then he wouldn't do it again because he was like, he kept comparing himself to Sean Connery, and he just didn't want to do it. And so they brought Sean back, but the studio didn't like Sean because he was always fighting with them about money. That's why they eventually got rid of him and hired Roger Moore. Lazenby, thank you, George Lazenby.
Massive Mexico, hey, better late than never. Yeah. What are we up to? So happy to be here and to relax after a troubled week of fighting the earthquake consequences. Yeah.
Hey, Masters, Ponyboy's in here.
Yeah, he was here. Yeah, he's in here, and
he's hiding in here somewhere.
We finally got the custom card back for the figures you sent, and we've got that videotape, so David should be uploading that when he uploads it. So,
is that how it is?
It'll be sitting, but we did get it, and it looks great. It looks great on the card.
She went all like mental.
Go get it so I can see one. Well,
you want to show it now?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
She's crazy. All right, hold on.
Oh boy,
got me running all over the place.
I know. Now that we down here, we can show people stuff. Let's see. Robert says, "Yeah, I really."
Where'd you put it?
Isn't it on the table right there in front of you? I really started to enjoy the present Bond, although always loved Roger Moore. I grew up with that Bond. So this is
Roger Moore's best film was the first one. That's what she did with the Mexican bootlegs.
So now I can put it, now I can hang it on the wall and it won't be loose. So I can hang it up. Because if they're loose and you set it on the shelf, they're going to fall down. And then I got the Skeletor one. So again, the Evil Horde Trooper made the card back. Yes. And we had him put it in Spanish because it's the Spanish bootleg.
Los Amos.
And I bought the some mini comics. And I started to buy more accessories, but I had a hard time finding the accessories. And it's just a simple card back. You know, the back is in English, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's what I did with it. So I'm very, very grateful. Okay. Let's see.
Masters likes that. And Roger Moore's worst Bond film, Octopussy. That movie was almost like a parody of a Bond film. I think it's probably one of the worst ones they ever did. Octopussy.
Axel Foley said, will it be a Tron movie? What's going on? Uni Kaboom.
Another Tron film?
Yeah.
They've been talking about doing a third installment, but things didn't go as well as planned with the second one.
Let's see. Is anyone familiar with the Eagle Moss car collection? You buy the subscription and assemble the car. It is 1/18 scale and have the DeLorean Ecto 1 and James Bond Goldfinger D85. No, I've never heard of that, but I can't do no kit. Something I got to put it together myself. Master Mexico wants us to take a picture and send it to him.
Okay.
So we'll send it to you so you can show it off to your friends.
And James says, good for you to shout out on Live and Let Die. Yeah, that's easily Moore's best film. And underrated Bond. Yeah. Spy Who Loved Me, also quite good. It was. Spy Who Loved Me was good. And Connery is still the best, though. For a great film. But yeah, like I said, Lazenby doing it because Connery was so entrenched in the character. And after he did the first one, he was like, I don't know if I should be doing this. Diamonds Are Forever is a good one. Diamonds Are Forever is a really good one. It's got some real funny moments in it too.
Oh, does it? Robert says I do really good at that. The car back. I didn't do the car back. Somebody reached out to us. Like I said, his name is Evil Horde Trooper. Reached out to us and we talked behind the scenes about the particulars, and he made the card back. All I did was glue it together and buy the other part. Broly Khan, do you go to flea markets? I have found rare toys there, so you guys might find the Motu there that the owner doesn't know what.
We haven't really gone to anything like that in a while.
No, the flea markets around here, it's not too many, and they're not all that great.
No, they're not that great.
Not really for Tron 3. I like Octopussy. I was fond of that movie, maybe because I saw it with Megaforce. No. Okay. Eagle Moss is usually available through your local comic shops.
Yeah, and Zom calls out Man with the Golden Gun because that was Christopher Lee as the villain.
Oh, and James Bond. That's a James Bond film.
And that car stunt is classic. The car stunt where he flips the bridge and he does a complete 360 spin in the air was a real stunt, and the stunt driver that they got for it, he was from off of some car show circuit. He was the only one that could do it, and they had to hire him for the stunt because I don't know, I guess he didn't want to explain how it was done. You get the idea. It was proprietary for him. I don't know if anyone can still do that stunt today. I've never heard of anybody else doing it. And the market scene, the scene where they're driving through the market, Man with the Golden Gun, and they're just trashing the street and running over street vendor carts and stuff like that. When they filmed that, they were told basically by whoever it is that was in charge down there, the mayor or town council, whoever, that they didn't set that up. They said, just drive through the street, tear it up, and we'll pay everybody off when you're done, is how that was done. So they really did wreck that neighborhood. If anybody's ever seen the documentary on that film.
Master Mexico, I grew up with the Bond movie, and for us Germans, I always had a special feeling as we always were part of the story. Natural born bad guys. I will miss this. The Matrix, you guys remember what's that?
Armatron from Radio Shack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I remember that thing. 6 degrees of freedom, wrist rotation. And that's the one. That's the one that's got the little joystick and it's got a hand like this and it's got like little cups and balls and stuff and you can pick it up and do this with it.
Oh, it's like the claw machine.
It's a little, yeah. It's like if you had your own little manufacturing arm that you were experimenting with. That's a classic toy.
Robert wants to know what was the toy Pulsar. He looked so gross with the blood pumping in his insides. You have any Jace and the wielded warriors figures? I'm trying to find some that I had when I was younger.
I don't have any Jace and the Wheeled Warriors. That's Pulsar, man. Careful with that card back.
Because it's all bent up.
Yeah, the card's got some injury to it. But that's the initial Pulsar Man utilizing the original blood pumping action that they used in Grey Gory and also in who is it? Mosquitor from Mattel. And this is how you can tell whether or not he's been removed from the package, because he was put in the package naked in the factory, and his clothes are in a cello bag in the bottom of this.
Okay.
So if you see one and it looks like it's sealed and he's dressed, he's been opened.
They did real stunts before computers and CGI. Yeah, they don't anymore. Everything is CGI. I think it kind of takes away from like the imagination.
And then they make the stunts look absolutely impossible. And then you're like, there's no freaking way that they did that. You know which one killed me in that last movie you saw it? Where Dwayne Johnson, and he's on the back of the truck and he's holding the chain and pulling a helicopter. Come on.
Yeah.
He would have ripped his arm out of the socket.
I went to the film and saw that to the theater.
I didn't see it, but I know the scene.
Let's see. Who remembers the movie The Wrath with Charlie Sheen? I wish any company would make figures for. Okay. That name sounds familiar, but I don't know what it is.
I always enjoyed seeing Roger Moore fighting Jaws. More trivia for you from the Live and Let Die, Roger Moore's first movie. Remember the scene where he runs across the crocodiles? That was legitimate. They had a stuntman who really did that. Because they couldn't figure a way to fake it, so they did line him up, and he stepped across. I think it was 5 crocodiles on a run. They were floating.
He did that for real?
Yeah, they were floating in the water. It wasn't Roger Moore, but the stuntman actually did run across the backs of those crocodiles. See, they weren't playing back in the 70s.
Who remembers the movie Remo Williams?
Remo Williams. The legend continues. I know that film. Movie. That movie's crazy.
Maude Adams' only Bond actress, who showed up as 2 different characters in a Bond film.
Man with the Golden Gun and Octopussy. Yeah, okay.
Master Mexico says, I live in the 80s. Here we still have Radio Shack, Sears, and Blockbuster stores ruling our mall. In Mexico, I guess they still got it.
Yeah.
Radio
you can't
Shack.
Find that stuff around
I used to work at Radio Shack. I worked at Radio Shack in the 90s. One in a strip mall. Oh, I said that before. One in a strip mall and one inside the mall. Pulsar had blood on the inside, right? Why? What's the storyline? He looks like
because his whole torso is transparent. He's got normal looking arms, legs, and even his crotch. It's like it's completely transparent, and you're supposed to, I don't know, oxygenate him or something. They only made 2 figures. There was Pulsar Man and Hypnos, and then he's got like some kind of station it's like a platform station you plug Pulsar Man into. Basically, I mean, there's not much of a story to it. They didn't really go far with it. That was Mattel trying to compete with the $6 million Man. So they made a figure that was a little taller, and it's Pulsar Man. I don't know. It didn't take. Kind of like Electro Man from Ideal also was competition, supposed to be competition for $6 million Man, which also didn't work. And that one was even bigger, 15 inches. It's a huge figure. So was Mighty Max from Tomy. Mighty Max from Tomy is freaking cool, though. It looks like a big Micronaut.
Where are we?
I don't know.
What is your favorite Jason Richards film? I don't know who Jason Richards is. Jeffrey Holden Barron S. is live. Oh, is Live and Let Die. Was the 7-Up guy in the 70s commercial. Okay, I don't know him. Your favorite Friday the 13th film?
He's talking about the black guy from the 7-Up commercial. He was in Dr. Dolittle also.
No, I don't remember a 7-Up guy.
Yeah. He's what the crisp taste of 7-Up. He had a really bass voice.
What's your favorite Friday the 13th film? I only remember the first one. I've seen bits and pieces.
I don't remember them that well.
I've seen bits and pieces, but I've seen the entire first one with the mother. I've seen Jason versus Freddy. So I would have to say the first one. Because that's the one I've for sure seen the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that one was better.
I don't remember them that Jason well either. It just kind of blurs together, honestly.
Yeah.
Not
all
that
of them
Mighty
do.
Max.
Like Friday the
There's Ghost Junk.
13th. Nightmare on Elm Street blurs together. Halloween blurs together. Has anybody seen the new Halloween? Halloween blurs together. They all blur together after a while. They all start kind of looking the same. Definitely the final chapter says the happy accident. When you first heard of Leonard's Part 6, did you think there were 5 other movies?
That's one of Bill Cosby's films. Wasn't very good. Leonard Part 6, Ghost Dad, and he had some crappy films. He was better in television.
Yeah, he did all that blaxploitation.
Although
stuff
that hotel movie wasn't bad, but he wasn't the main attraction in that film either. And there's Ghost Junk.
Hey, Ghost
Junk heard me. Who was asking me there? Robert's just a fan talking about Mighty Jax, not Bluebird Mighty Jax. Tomy Mighty Max, the original Mighty Max from 1976. That was Tomy attempting to cash in on $6 Million Man. And like I said, he's like a big Micronaut. You can pull them all apart, and he attaches to this battery-operated car, and he's got a winch arm and all kinds of crazy stuff. Now, I figure most people probably never even heard of that one. They only made one figure.
Okay, Robert said I can see the 7-Up commercial on YouTube. Did you ever see the documentary on the Jaws movie? They had go through a lot of problems to make the movie. But Jaws was a robot, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a automaton.
Real talk, real deal.
Real is here. Hi, Real Talk. How are you? New Halloween was awesome, they said.
Oh, okay. Wasn't Jason Richards... What is that? Robots in All the President's Men. I think I saw All the President's Men. I think I saw that movie. Brandon says his favorite Friday the 13th was Part 7. New Halloween was awesome. I want to see that, but David thinks it's going to be too violent. I had no idea what any of these toys or movies are. Gen Z here.
That's all right, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can look them up and go see them. And maybe you'll like it. You never know.
See, now Robert's confused because he said, "That's Mighty Max." No, this is the 1976 Tomy Mighty Max. However, in the early 90s, there is a different Mighty Max made by a company called Bluebird. And it's the little tiny figure. It's like a half-inch tall, and it comes in the little playset on the blister card. And that was the boys' version of Polly Pocket. And, of course, it had its own cartoon show. Bull Shannon used to play Thor on that show. Not Bull Shannon. You know, the actor who played Bull Shannon.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't remember his name.
Oh, shoot, I can't think.
Richard Mall.
That's right, Richard Mall.
Robert says he's definitely going to the movies on December 3rd to see Spider-Man. New Halloween is going to be Wicked. Yes, 1976 film, All the President's Men. I'm almost sure Halloween movie is on the October cover of Rewind magazine. Okay. Wow, that's Mighty Max. Okay. Have you seen Something Wicked This Way Comes?
We have seen that film.
Oh, what is it about?
It was the kid, remember?
What kid?
You try to make me pull a synopsis out of thin air. We've seen the film, though.
Is that the Canadian film with the little boy? Something about the woods falling in the hole?
No.
Oh.
No, but I know we've seen the film. It's kind of hard to describe on the fly.
That's an awesome film. Okay. He's talking about, I guess he's talking about The President's Men, or maybe he's talking about The Wicked This Way Comes. Something Wicked This Way Comes. I'm not sure. Mattel Bluebird cover. Bluebird over in England. Still looking for so many pieces still. Okay, it's hard for me to see the words.
There's a lot.
So I'm messing up pretty bad because it's hard for me to see the words.
There's a ton of pieces for Mighty Max, and they're still asking me about this one too. He's a cyborg because he's Mighty Max. The Maximum Man was the moniker for that figure.
Okay, Mighty All Max, the President's Men has Jason Roberts. I gotta see who Jason Roberts is. Oh, okay.
The Fair with the Evil Carousel.
Well, that was Something Wicked.
Something Wicked This Way Comes. I know we've watched that film.
I don't know. You know, I'm not good at remembering movies. I'm getting better though. Jason Roberts.
Yeah, there you go, Johnny. Thank you. Carnival comes to town with a wicked carnival leader who targets two boys that know his secret. That's right. That's right. It's coming. You remember that, right?
No.
Oh.
I don't remember movies well. I'm doing better though. I'm doing a lot.
Yeah, Robert, I'm going to showcase Mighty Max at some point because they only made the one figure. There's just a packaging variant, and the packaging variant's not even important because you see they got him set in this yellow blow mold. They also have a version that's in a blue blow mold, but the figure's identical. So, I don't need to have both. But this is not a sealed box, so I'm going to showcase them at some point.
Master Mexico is getting skeptical about the new Spider-Man movie. Maybe I'm getting too suspicious, but I feel that we have already seen the main parts of the movie in that trailer, and that it will be more a bit like a villain parade.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can't tell from a trailer anymore anyways.
Yeah, because they always show you like the best parts, and then you go see the movie and you're like, that part of the trailer wasn't even in the movie. Just like they did with Coming to America too. They played parts on the trailer that didn't play in the movie.
That happens too. That actually
so
happens.
So you can't really go by trailers, because those trailers will be like, man, that's a good movie. I'm gonna go see that. And then you get there and you're all disappointed. James Finn wants to know what TV shows we're watching. We're still on Gunsmoke.
Yeah.
We're still on Dark Shadows.
Yeah.
It's starting to get annoying. We're still on Dallas. We just wrapped up a show called Debris, which was, Neither here nor there.
Yeah.
We're watching Invincible. Somebody suggested Invincible, and we took a chance on that, and I'm really liking it. It's a pretty good show. We just finished watching Night Gallery, so we're gonna start watching Are You Being Served? So that's next.
Are You Being Served is classic.
Yeah. We're still watching Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Mm-hmm. We're still on Seinfeld. That Kung Fu movie. Kung Fu
with David Carradine.
Yeah. Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, Tintin, and
love me some Tintin.
Rocky and Bullwinkle, and Dukes of Hazzard.
Tintin had action figures too. Sari made them, and they were sold on the European market.
Okay, Robert is saying something.
Oh no! Look at this. John wants to know if we ever watched The Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah, we finished The Twilight Zone. We just
a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the classic Rod Serling Twilight Zone was excellent, except for the last episode. Last episode was lame.
Oh, with them kids in that swimming pool.
Yeah,
that was stupid.
They were like really, really impactful episodes in the last season that would have been better for a finale. Like what is it? Whipple. What's the name of that episode?
Oh, when the robots took over the robots took over the factory.
Yeah, they threw everybody out of. They fired everyone in the factory to replace them with machinery. That one is a very impactful episode, and I would have rather seen that as a finale.
Okay, hold on now. My getting blurred. Jason Roberts had his son, and he offered Jason Roberts his youth again. It played on the town's desires. Kind of the 7 Deadly Sins. Okay, that's the movie about the carnival.
That's Kevin Mack.
Okay, Kevin Mack, good movie. Yeah, okay, something Wicked was a Ray Bradbury film.
The Brain Center at Whipple's.
Okay, that was the movie.
That was the episode
of the
Twilight Zone, about the Brain Center at Whipple's. Okay. It took me a second.
I haven't seen any movies since Endgame, but I'm going to see Bond and that Spider-Man movie.
We've seen a couple, but they haven't been good.
Yeah,
we've seen a couple of films.
The original Dallas is great. Yeah, we're on season 1. Jock just had a heart attack, and he just got out of the hospital. So that's where we are there.
Okay.
Let's see. I saw something from Kaiju. Invincible has some agenda mixed in, but it's watchable. We haven't really got to any agendas yet.
Well, I did notice that the new team is almost all female.
But, yeah. It's not overbearing. Once it gets overbearing,
it's going off.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn it off. But I can take a heavy female cast if it's not overbearing. But right now they're not overbearing, so I can still deal with it. I've kept up with the MCU fix. They're all great, but glad to know you could end with the end game. Are You Being Served is a great show. It sucks that the sequel was so bad. Yeah.
Well,
there was 2 sequels now.
The sequel was more scripted. The original show, I mean, they did that like live take, and you could tell just looking at their faces sometimes when they're trying not to laugh. But the original, the other one, Are You Being Served Again, was just too scripted. And she's talking about there's a third version, which is an Australian show.
Yeah, Are You Being Served?
But it's the original scripts from the original show being reacted with an Australian cast, except for Mr. Humphries, because he was there. Yeah. Everyone else in the entire show was different, and it was the same exact scripts. And he sang. He sang the intro. I mean, he would literally turn to the audience and start singing, and then just go into the show.
Ugh.
It was weird.
Kevin Mack guessed it was still a creepy movie for an old Disney show. Zombie wants to know any 60s shows. Gomer Pyle, The Prisoner. We are watching 60s. The Alfred Hitchcock.
No, that's 50s. No.
What 60s show we watching then? I thought Gunsmoke was from the 60s.
50s and 60s.
No.
Well, that's what, Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. What do we watch on Tuesday?
What do we watch on Tuesday?
We were watching Galleries from the
Night
70s.
Galleries is a 70s show.
Yeah, I don't know, David. Anyway,
What do we?
Are You Being Served is awesome, or Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Ever get bored that
on board
that train? I don't watch Doctor Who. David does.
Third and fourth Doctor. I couldn't get around the other ones, honestly.
Yeah. I saw an episode. I saw a couple of episodes. I couldn't get into it because I didn't know what was going on. And it looks like one of those shows you have to watch it from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And you got to really stick up with it. And you don't know why they're there and what they're doing.
You know it's Gunsmoke, right?
Gunsmoke is on Monday.
Yeah, because that's the 60s show, and then Tuesday is 70s shows.
When I said Gunsmoke, you said that was from the 50s.
No, I'm just messing with you.
Oh. James Finn, love Rod Serling, but Night Gallery isn't quite up to the
Yeah, well, it started off good. You know, if you're watching Night Gallery, like especially the first season's pretty decent, but they made a switch, and the switch happens when the music changes because they have this slow, methodical intro, and then suddenly it's like that intro where they're throwing the pictures at you on the screen. And then almost every story is like an occult story instead of just a basic supernatural story. It's about the occult. It's witches and warlocks and weird stuff. And I think that they just went off the rails when they did that. If they had stuck with the original format, they'd have done better.
Master Mexico, Tintin was my father's favorite. They even made a German equivalent. It's called Nick Natterton. Also very interesting, as they also broadcasted it in English on BBC.
Yeah, I have the disc series. It's like 20 episodes on disc.
Of Tintin?
Yeah.
Seems like we watched more than 20 episodes already.
It's 20 episodes.
I don't like that captain. He gets on my nerves. He's overbearing.
The captain. You know, they made action figures for that, Master Mexico. You're going to have to find them now.
Johnny just watched a trailer for Something Wicked. He thinks it's spooky. Okay. Black Widow wasn't bad, very entertaining.
Oh, the movie? We didn't see it.
No. I saw Black Widow today, and I liked it. David, do you still do video showcasing one of your figures that people requested?
Yeah. I haven't done one in a few weeks, but yeah, I still do that.
Also saw the cartoon Batman Long Halloween. I like it too. I never heard of that.
Okay.
In my opinion, there is nothing wrong with a movie full of women or even third sex, as long as story requires it. What I don't want is a male Tila or a female Loki. It's just a creativity. Yeah,
it is.
And that's the problem. You got these movies nowadays in film, and it wasn't that way. It's like in maybe the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, and beyond. But nowadays, when they put a female cast woman,
see Masters Mexico, tell me you don't want that.
You don't want that. You don't even like Tintin.
Yeah, Tintin, man.
Tintin is okay, but that captain is just ridiculous. Kevin Mack, are you tired of collecting with all the overpriced toys and oversaturation of the industry as a whole? Do you think this generation of collecting will have any value with your youth in 20 years? We actually did a video.
Yeah, we did a couple of videos on that subject. I don't know if a lot of it's going to hold up. I don't think a lot of it's going to hold up. And if people are looking for something with historical value, most of the time they're going to default back to the original versions. And that will probably hold its value. But all these constant remakes and reissues and repaints, and it's too much. It's like, where do you draw the line? You know, how can you pick It's like going down the cereal aisle, you know, and there's like 500 different varieties of cereal. If you've never had cereal before, which one do you pick?
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's going to look like in 20 years. People won't know what to get from what.
The Punisher thinks that Tom Baker is the best doctor. Robert loved our comic book store tour, and he wanted me to ask the guy, where's Waldo? Real talk, Tales from the Dark Side TV show is one of the best from the 80s. The Creep Show series on Amazon is cool. The Evil Dead episode is awesome. Yeah, I like Tales from the Dark Side. That was a good show. I like that one. And Tales from the Crypt. Okay. That was a good one. Let's see. Okay. Kevin Mack, look at G.I. Joe, which is very difficult to find in any regular store at this generation of children have no desire to play with them. Will they have any value in years to come?
All the ones that are coming out now, probably not. It's only important to us. You know, we're like the last generation of people interested in action figures, and it's going to continue to dwindle. How many young people do you see interested in train sets?
Yeah.
That used to be a massive, big deal. Train sets used to be phenomenal. And if you go to any place, you go to any train hobby shop, miniature hobby shop, you go to any of the setups, you know, you go to look at a train display, whatever the scale, Ho, H, G scale, who's there and who's running it.
Yeah.
Most of the people, especially the people operating the trains or working the hobby, they're like 70, 80 years old.
We went to one. Did you put that video up?
No, I didn't put that up yet. We took some film of one that we visited just recently. And yeah, those guys were up there.
Yeah, and they're volunteers, and they took pride in that. That display is a big outdoor train set display that they have, and they run it twice a month at one of the local parks around here.
And I've been to a couple of those miniature hobby shops, and the people that are in there shopping, older than I am.
Yeah, they old.
There's no kids looking to play with train sets.
No.
But 50 years ago, man, everybody wanted a train set.
I wanted a
Same thing's going to happen with action figures. What's going to be valuable? What's valuable with train sets now? The old stuff. You know, newer stuff coming out, only hobbyists are interested in it.
Robert said, I noticed G.I. Joe is feeling weird to watch nowadays, maybe because of the military vibe. We started watching G.I. Joe. We're going to start back from the beginning in a few months.
The Raw series.
Yeah. But I didn't find a problem watching it. I actually realized, because growing up, it didn't seem like it was a storyline, but going back to watch it, they actually, some of the episodes.
Yeah.
Especially the 5-parters.
5-parters
had a story.
Yeah. And it's written a lot smarter than you expected. You know, looking back on it.
Yeah.
And the 5-parters have better art. The regular edition shows, the continuity is often pretty bad. And by continuity, I mean the motion, how it's sectioned together. You know, things change on you suddenly. And that was a funny one. There was one episode we were watching. I forget who it was. Airborne, I think. And in a couple of the frames, suddenly he was white. It's like, hey, what happened? But the coloring and continuity and artwork and a lot of them can be pretty shady.
Yeah.
But in the 5-parters, the movement, the motion, and the coloring is a lot better. Story's better too.
Kaiser says Black Widow is probably his least favorite Marvel film. Kevin says Tales from the Crypt still holds up. Punisher, do you remember the creepy TV show called Dark Room?
I don't know if I remember that.
No, I don't remember that. James Finn, Tales from the Dark Side, had a few really creepy episodes. Yeah, I like the one. It was an old guy. I think he knew voodoo, and he was dead, and the girl came to his apartment to steal his ring, and he came alive wanting his ring back. I thought that was a creepy episode. I remember Dark Room with Sheriff Lobo cutting some guy's leg off. Robert says, "They'll remember Kaiju." They make Loki a parody of himself, and they made female Loki the focus. Oh, so they had a female Loki in the show?
Well, there's multiple versions of everybody in the show.
Oh.
But I haven't seen it, but I know that. But Loki's been a parody of himself in the MCU for a while. I mean, he started off being one of the most interesting villains, but they've slowly turned him into comedy relief in that series. I mean, look at how he was in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
he was comedy relief, and it wasn't even funny.
Yeah,
you know that they've been slowly doing that to his character.
Oh, Master Mexico, I want the Cap, and I love the Cap. Actually, he is like my uncle used to.
He wants the Captain figure. They only made 5. Sari only made 5 figures. Tintin with Snowy, the professor, Thompson and Thompson.
Ugh.
They made both of the Thompsons, and of course, the only way you can tell the difference is the mustache, and then and the Captain. They have.
They didn't make Calculus.
Yeah, Professor Calculus. That's the one I just showed.
Oh,
but and they look kind of like the cartoon characters, but they had alluded to making other figures and didn't do it. And that's Seri. Sari made those.
Johnny Future pretty much have to go pre-1980s if you want to start getting something truly worth any value. Yeah. Well, some 90s stuff have value, or it's going to come to that, because now that people are, the 90s is what, 40 years ago, 30 years ago. I'm sorry, 30 years ago. I think it's the 90s stuff is going to start picking up, but it's still pretty cheap right now. Plus, the materials used these days on many toys will break down much sooner versus the older vintage goodness.
I have noticed that, and I brought up because you asked me, it's like how some action figures, were they made cheaper than some figures were made cheap, some were made sturdy, but a lot of the materials being used in modern stuff, they're using the cheapest possible polycarb imaginable to save a few pennies. So
but they don't charge you a few pennies.
No, they charge you quite a lot for it. And there's examples of action figures that they're so badly constructed, vintage ones that are so badly constructed that they literally fall apart. Even sealed examples, like the Space Academy figures. The Space Academy figures, it's almost impossible to find one with their arms intact. Inside the package, you'll often see them with sleeves just hanging because the plastic in the arms and hands corroded and fell apart, and there's all these chunks at the bottom of the package. But other figures were made so well, it's incredible. But nowadays, I don't think they're putting as much care into the construction.
Punisher always wanted a train set, but he never got one.
You should get yourself a train set.
I always wanted one as a kid.
I want my Tony the Tiger train set. I had one as a kid. The Tony the Tiger was like a cereal box mail away train set. I want that back.
Gilgamesh, I honestly hope most things in this hobby don't hold their current value, because things are always way
over to value.
Okay,
way too overvalued. It's going to get to the point where collecting isn't financially possible.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff, you see a lot of vintage prices are going up too, and it's being forced up because a lot of times people are asking unrealistic prices.
Yeah.
For many of them.
And people are paying for it.
Yeah, people are paying for it.
That also drives the price up, because people are willing to pay.
And Johnny says that his King Kong from Bandai Spirits won't stay together. That's the new figure.
Bandai Spirits are expensive.
Yeah, Bandai stuff is expensive.
And my mom is here. I just passed her name. Oh boy, okay. We got a lot of people.
We're trying to keep up here, guys. There's a lot of comments.
Yeah, we always try to read everybody's, and I think we're going way far. Okay. Okay.
That makes me wonder what would happen if we ever get to the point where we have like 1,000 people on a super chat, and
because we watch a couple of people, and it's like 5,000 people on the chat, and it's going by so fast they don't even try.
Yeah, how do you keep up?
It saddens me to know we're becoming the train set guys.
Yeah, we are, and you see every generation with that. There's the cap gun generation.
Yeah.
There's the which we're the last of also. The train generation, the tin wind up generation, robot toy generation. Those are the guys, and you even see it at the shows. If you go to the big conventions like the Kane County in Chicago, and you see the booths where you go and the guy has all cap guns, or the guy has all tin wind up toys. Look at him; he's like 80 years old, and it's and the stuff still holds its value. It's expensive, but there's fewer people out there looking for that stuff. And plus, they've made buying cap guns hard.
Yeah.
The eBay and everybody. The rule is they say that the reason that eBay claims that they make such tough regulations on this international sale because they won't sell them internationally, so that people won't send a real gun under the guise of sending a toy gun overseas. Like they can't tell when they search that package at customs.
The weight alone.
Because they will search it. I know that a lot of vintage cap guns look realistic.
The weight is not the same.
When you run that sucker through the X-ray machine, you know the difference. Okay, that's just a load of crap, is what that is.
My two youngest nephews loves trains. They'll probably grow out of it, but right now, it's all they want. That's good.
That's cool.
That's good. Kevin, as for cereals, I always gravitate to what I know. So I always choose from the unhealthy ones, like me, Cookie Crisp, Cocoa Puffs. The nostalgia, kind of like collecting.
Yeah, and then you got to sit there with a great big bowl of cereal and put on a bunch of random cartoons on Saturday morning. Sit on the floor. You need a caffeine ray television to do that, though.
LPH drink might be spiked.
Somebody had asked earlier. They said, "What are you drinking? Orange juice?"
That's tea.
It's tea. I got the same thing. It's just sweet tea.
Sweet tea, lemon, no ice.
Yeah, we neither of us drink alcohol. We don't drink alcohol or beer or anything like that.
Kolchak the Night Stalker.
Kolchak, we saw the Night Stalker. We saw Kolchak. That was a cool series, actually.
Yeah, it's two. It's two parts.
We saw two.
No, it's two parts to it. We saw both of them.
Yeah, one is vampires, and one is that guy who's prolonging his life with serums.
I kind of have a craving to find and buy some race car slot cars. Okay. Maybe the Knight Rider slot car.
That's another thing that's gone away. You don't see people with slot cars anymore.
I think they have one for the Dukes of Hazzard too, where it runs up that ramp.
They made that stuff for everything.
Yeah.
Big wheels. I mean, there was a Chips big wheel, a Knight Rider big wheel, a G.I. Joe one.
Oh, shoot. Okay, well.
Yeah, we're all screwed up here, guys.
Got messed up
we're not, if you made a comment and we missed you, we apologize.
I recall Dark Room. Okay, that's Happy Accident. The new stuff is not durable, sometimes even not playable.
And good playability is something I talk about a lot. It's just something that, because I got vintage play sets like the Familiar Places, McDonald's, and the Child Guidance, Kentucky Fried Chicken, a couple of my favorite childhood play sets. They're still perfectly intact. They hold up really well.
Robert wants to know who's richer, Bruce Wayne or Tony Stark?
Or T'Challa. T'Challa, obviously.
Who's that? Oh, that's the guy from Black Panther, right?
Yeah, that's Black Panther.
Master Mexico. And another really ridiculous thing is that a modern toy producer like Hot Toys even does not want to declare their highly fragile stuff as toys for not being hold responsible, and we buy it.
That's my argument about Mezco, because the Mezco's motto is pose, play, display, but then it's a slip of paper and they're warning you not to mess with it. Because so which is
you ain't supposed to do all that.
Play with it or don't.
Don't play with it.
Yeah, you can't even pose it safely. You gotta be careful.
You put it in the stand, you set it on the shelf, you're done.
Yeah, Robert likes the Mafex. I've never handled a Mafex though.
I have the Mafex. Oh no, I didn't get it yet because Sideshow still hasn't mailed it off yet.
Because some of them look pretty cool and the posability is supposed to be good, but I haven't handled one, so I don't know how well it holds up.
So Robert is going to start collecting those comic accurate Mafex figures. And Master Mexico said something in Spanish that I don't know. Johnny Future, Bruce Wayne is richer.
I think it's just a matter of opinion.
Kaiser, they just read the super chat at I saw an older guy have a huge booth with vintage metal vehicles, airplanes, trucks, and a lot of them were in the thousands of dollars, metal cars from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're worth it, but it's just a slower market. It's going to be harder for them to get rid of them, but eventually you can get the price. And then Master Hoarder, there's a nice clean G.I. Joe Defiant shuttle box on Evil Bay right now. How much do you think it will sell for?
Evil Bay.
Yeah, I have no idea, but it'd probably go for quite a bit. I like the Defiant. I wish I had one myself, but I don't need to have the box.
The Defiant is which one? Is that shuttle?
The shuttle.
Oh, that's the shuttle
set. And Graphic Man, sorry if I missed it. Sorry if I missed if you've answered this, but have you ever made your own diorama or playset? Yeah, I used to do some diorama stuff.
I never made one. I would like to, but I don't think I would finish it. I think I would start and then get annoyed or realize I missed a piece and or I need something and then won't get back to it. So. But I've never made it, but I've seen and I watched videos of other people's stuff, and it's pretty cool. Turn that off. Real talk, the Knight Rider slot car is awesome. I remember my mother's friend who worked for a manufacturer of that line, and I had at least 50 of them, along with the big rig that raced against Kit. I wish I had them now. Yeah. Modern day figures should all include stands. Just saying, I agree, because you always have to buy those doll stands. And
everyone should come with some kind of stand.
Yeah,
they should.
A headstand, if they got extra heads, they should come with a headstand and a stand for the body, and not those stupid doll stands. Because when they don't, you end up getting the doll stands. And I know like those Ninja Turtle figures from 3-0, they don't fit in the doll stands because of the shell.
Yeah, you got to get the oversized one. Oh, Paul's got to go.
Okay, thank you, Paul, for stopping by.
And then they get cheap with them too, and that's one of my biggest complaints about the Mondo. Because I've reviewed the Mondo Masters of the Universe figures, they give them those ball hunger stands with those two little prongs that go up between their legs. But most 6-scale figures are kind of top heavy, so what happens? They just kind of topple over at some point and slam down on the table, and so they're always falling over. I don't like using my I have a few of those that I had to just take that stand and go and pack it up and put them in a normal doll stand to get them to stand properly. And you shouldn't have to do that. It's like, even if you're going to give it a stand that works. Mezco does that too, because they have a universal claw arm stand. But if you have an oversized figure like the Hulk or the Dark Side or somebody like that, the clamp won't fit on them. It's too small.
Yeah.
So accommodate the stand to fit the figure, and they won't do it.
Oh, let's see. David, from what I can see, the Mafex seems kind of flimsy, but I fell in love with their comic version figures.
Okay.
And they do pose well, from what I can see. Okay. Let's see. Getting older, I think we all need a hug. Master Mexico, like to mention that the next package is planned for Halloween. It took a while to get the comic and audios, and I also found a die-cast bootleg of Mazinger. Oh, that'll be nice. You're getting a little Mazinger set up here.
Oh my goodness.
Also, mini magnets is in the foothold work. Oh, okay. Great with metal shelves or
okay.
Piece of metal.
Like what Mego did with those old Batman and Robin. And they had like a magnet in the hands.
Yeah.
You could stick them on the refrigerator.
Now I am only waiting for one more special. And then it's going out. I made my friend Marcos, creator of Bootleg here, do something. Just waiting. Okay, thank you. We appreciate all you do.
And he's talking about sending us a little care package, and we appreciate that a lot.
Oh yeah, we appreciate.
This,
and we showed you what
there's
he did.
No requirement.
No,
we you need to send us something.
Yeah, you better send us something. No, we just mess around. We don't care, but we love it. Thank you.
No, it means a lot to us.
Yeah, it does
actually. Oh, somebody. Who was he saying? Oh, David. He's looking at my Shogun figures.
That's Robert. Yeah, he said you got a nice little setup of those Shogun stuff there.
Yeah, here's an interesting little variation here that a lot of people probably aren't even aware of. I'll show you something here real quick. Because these look the same, right? Well, they're different figures, obviously, but I'm talking about the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
One is the foreign box version and one is the normal version. And you see this one says, it says die-cast metal parts in the orange here. Overseas, it says for collectors. And these are both vintage Mattel boxes. This one came from Italy. For collectors. And you see also it's like multilingual right there.
Okay. Zombie was talking about that on the thing. He says totally forgot Mattel sucks doing any type of web shop. I guess he was buying something on Mattel's website. And he said that he got everything in the cart and then they kicked it out. He was saying that on one of the
Sounds
videos.
Like a Funko move there. I've had that happen on Funko. That's when I was still chasing Funko. There's Shiny Haunter.
Hey, Shiny. I'll send some nice customs to you guys when they're ready. Okay, thanks. We appreciate that. I like your Shogun figures, the big ones. They really on point. Look, that's the big ones.
My 24, the jumbos, the jumbo machinders. Yeah, I love those. I love the way they look. Some people don't care for them because they're really limited with what they can do, but the playability of them is fantastic. Looking at it from a child's perspective, plus since they're so big, you know.
Master Mexican. Oh no, it's not required. I just have a lot of fun with that, and I also use you shamelessly as a reason that I have to go to the toy market, for I still have to buy you some figures. Thank you.
No, we appreciate you. We're just playing, but we really do. We appreciate you. He's talking about the jumbo machinders.
Yeah, them big old ones that you got.
These gigantic ones.
Gilgamesh said he started looking to collect some lines from the 90s like Reboot and Earthworm Jim. I haven't realized how much 90s stuff.
See, like these.
Has already increased in price.
Yeah, and it's going to keep going up as people who remember those from that time period realize. So if you're going to do it, jump on it now while it's still like $15-20 a figure. It's going to keep going up. Look at what I think Hasbro made Stargate for the original movie with Kurt Russell. Stargate figures. You can still get them for like $15-20. G.I. Joe Sergeant Savage. Yeah, like you said, Earthworm Jim. And I used to have the Earthworm Jim set. I want it back. The Conan, the animated series with those 10-inch bulky figures. There's a lot of stuff, and it's not that expensive now, but it will get to be so within the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, because that's what I was talking about earlier. The 90s are 30 years ago, and people are going to start.
Yeah, and you don't realize it when you're our age.
Yeah, they're going to start remembering it. Like, oh, yeah, when I was a kid, I remember seeing that and seeing that. So now is the time, if you're going to start getting into some figures that's from the 90s, now is the time to get it while you might still find it maybe under $30-$40. Let's see. Gilgamesh. Okay, I said that already. He started that. And Master Mexico. All of the sudden, I also find some. So thanks that you help keep peace with my princess. Oh, I want some more Earthworm Jim figures. Says Kaiju David with the Back to the Future 1885 being released so far out. What's the chances they will pull the plug? Hot Toys don't usually pull the plug on too much stuff. Not Hot Toys.
No.
See, Robert, in your opinion, looking back toy-wise, what you think was the best toys to play with as a kid and to bash around with?
I don't know about bashing around with, but I used to really like the Hasbro Raw era GI Joes, mainly because of the articulation, because I could do more with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of other figures were pretty stiff. Even the Star Wars, I like the Star Wars, but 4 or 5 points of articulation was really limited. But the GI Joes, even though they were small, and I have the bigger ones also, but being able to fully pose them gave you a lot more options.
Shiny Hunter says she sent a figure to your Instagram, so look it up so you can tell her what it is, because she don't have a clue.
Oh, okay.
She wants you to do it now.
What?
Because she want to know the name of the figure. It's hard to figure out. And she wants your help. I don't have Instagram.
I don't understand things.
David, have you seen that new line of Battletoads figures?
Battletoads?
I don't know what Battletoads is. Visionary Silverhawks. Many 80s lines are going nuts. Yeah. David has Visionaries in Silverhawks.
I have a couple.
And Super 7 did Silverhawks, right? Not Visionaries.
They've done Silverhawks.
It looks good. Die-cast metal parts. Don't put them in your mouth. Hey. Oh, yeah. They look nice. The big Shoguns. Okay. David, awesome Shogun Warriors. Some cereal items have also gone up. Really? General Mills.
Classic cereal stuff is getting real popular.
Okay, Johnny Frocknick is going to head out. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, let me put that up on here.
Oh, what is that, Godzilla?
No, it's not Godzilla.
I don't know. I don't know if y'all can see that. What is that?
It's a robot. It looks familiar, but off the top of my head, I'm not. It's like this robot toy, and the claws open and close, if I'm not mistaken. Anybody out there recognize that?
Oh, Shiny Hunter said that he's a he. I'm sorry. No, we were just it didn't sound like a demand. I just want to mess with David because he would have did it later, and you want to know right now.
It looks familiar, but things don't always.
Plus, somebody else might know what it is. So we're here to help out.
The synapses don't always fire the way they should.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, so somebody might recognize that.
The head looks familiar, doesn't it? Look like
That's the back.
Never mind. What? There are very well made bootlegs of the Star Wars big figures. Would you accept? And if which ones are missing in your recollection? David's missing everything because he's starting from scratch.
Yeah, because my whole collection was stolen. Yeah. So I'm like, I just got bits and pieces right now, and I pick up what I can, where I can, in little bits and pieces.
He says Shiny Hunter says it takes C batteries. Happy Accident wants some Earthworm Jim. I was lead designer on Earthworm Jim PlayStation PSP. Until it had to be shelved due to the IP being too split up between multiple companies.
Atari, Interplay, etc.
Shiny Hunter, it almost reminds me of X-Men and Magneto. I guess the head part does. The head part looks like one of those can't think of that. Astro Boy. But I know I'm wrong. I know. Don't look
Astro
at me
Boy.
like that. I figure if you're a 5 or 7-year-old, you could bash around and the toy still holds up. I guess the He-Man figures would pass that test. Yeah, because there's a lot out there.
I don't know. I see a lot of them. They used to that strap inside the hip used to tear, even as kids.
But isn't there like a rubber band in there you got to replace or something?
You couldn't have replaced that in those days because it's a plug. I mean, they have one now that you can buy to replace that. You have to dig the old one out. It's a pain in the butt. Yeah, Shiny Haunter says Fisher Price play sets were always fun. Yeah, definitely. The Castle set is a classic. They did Sesame Street. It was Fisher Price had a lot of cool sets. I had the yacht, the Fisher Price yacht. It floats.
Okay. Real Talk says G.I. Joe is the ultimate toy action figure brand. It combines military, sci-fi, ninja, robots, vehicles, and play sets. And to mention, a classic TV show with morals and informative messages.
The Stone Sour.
Yeah. As a kid, I had a figure that had a hologram on. That's the Visionaries.
That's either Visionaries or it's Tonka's Supernaturals.
It said he also had snake skin.
Yeah, that could still be either. Skin? How articulated was it? Did he only have 4 or 5 points of articulation, or was he jointed like a G.I. Joe? That's how you'll tell.
Kaiser has the Mayfax Astro Boy. Looks great, but not perfect.
Yeah.
Well, that's all you need is for it to look good on the shelf.
No, he wants to play with it. He wants to take it in the bathtub and
he don't want to do
sandbox.
He don't want to do all that. He just want to put it on the shelf.
Yeah, I guess so.
And dust it off every so often.
Let me see.
You on Robert?
Am I? He says he feels like the Mayfax are flimsy, but they look good.
Comic animations wise.
Yeah, Adventure People would hold up. The Adventure People are tough figures. That's these right here. These are Adventure People back here. They are solid figures. 5 points of articulation, and Star Wars figures are actually based off of those. They used Adventure People, or they retooled Adventure People to use for their prototypes.
Happy accident. I'll never forget getting my G.I. Joe Cobra ASP. He never
asked.
Okay. You never saw a kid have so much fun opening and closing a canopy.
No kidding. And those vehicle sets were really cool too. Plus, they were technically kind of model kits, so you had to sit there and put it together, put the stickers on it, follow the blueprints. It was fun.
Extreme Zone Battle Beast also had holograms on the chest, but they were only about an inch tall.
And he says, Stone Sour says, just his legs and arms moved. Then that was the Tonka Supernaturals. Because both of those utilized that feature, but with the Visionaries, he's fully jointed like a raw G.I. Joe.
Oh, okay. Master Mexico still waiting on my recommendation for a sinkable playset. Atlantis is calling my fish feel naked without a palace. Oh yeah, you still getting that? Okay, a sinkable playset.
Oh, Johnny's talking about Shazam and Isis had a moral at the end of every episode. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they don't. No, they don't have morals and ethics in shows nowadays. They have agendas. And that's why your kids shouldn't watch modern cartoons at all.
No. Robert, Bury in the Sand, it still holds up. Adventure People.
Yeah, Adventure People are awesome.
He-Man had morals, so did Thundercats and G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
But they stopped them from
G.I. Joe
doing it.
didn't really have a moral. G.I. Joe had a PSA at the end. Like, hey, kid, don't knock yourself out by using a spray paint in the garage with the door shut. or something like that. It wasn't something that tied into something that happened on the show. Filmation got right in your face with it. They were like, in today's episode, Orko did such and such, and Orko's like, yeah, and I should have done this, and like that.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, Filmation, of course, is the same people who did Fat Albert. Fat Albert was a very ethical show. The whole show tied in.
Anyone think the Road Toad was the stupidest G.I. Joe vehicle? It looks really bad. I don't know the Road Toad.
The Road Toad.
You gotta look it up.
Yeah, I don't remember which one that is.
Shiny Hunter said Blue Clues had a gay pride parade.
Blues Clues.
Clues.
Yeah, Blues Clues got weird.
Oh, did it?
I never watched it,
but
I've heard that it got weird.
Oh.
But yeah, towards the end of the Ara run, some of the stuff they came up with was pretty weird. Let me see. Trying to make sure that we caught up here.
Yeah, we all caught up.
So they were talking a lot about the what was it? The MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, that guy! I wanted to see the 10 rings.
Senshi and the 10 rings.
But then after all of the stuff that he said, I don't want to see it anymore. That guy, he said some real mean and nasty things.
Because people were talking about that a little bit earlier, and they said, I like this one, I didn't like that one, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the film looked interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, here's an interesting question for you guys. Because...
Oh, Johnny Future has to go. Have a good weekend. Thank you for stopping by.
If you... could you be so off-put by the attitude of an actor in a film that you don't want to see it anymore? Because that's what happened. She was all stoked for it, and then we saw him in his podcast, and he was vulgar and rude, and he was whining and whining about stuff, and she was like, "Oh God, in real life, this guy's such a prick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see this film now." And I wonder, what do you think about that? Can an actor put you off so bad that you don't even want to see their you don't want to see their film or their show? I wonder.
Let's see, Max in Mexico talking about agendas. Yesterday I saw the new He-Man cartoon, and what a surprise. It was agenda-free, stupid, adorable, senseless, lovable cartoon. Is that the new one with the kitty one?
It's kids.
Okay. Fat Albert is all good. Bill Cosby ethics were terrific.
Oh, terrific, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it better when it was Bill Cosby and not the Brown Hornet, though, series. But
yeah. But back to that guy. Yeah, he went on just this ridiculous rant about Asians and about a lot of other stuff, and it was like, I don't want to watch your movie. I mean, you're so nasty. And then this is what he did. He was talking about Disney and slamming Disney for the way they handled the movie and the way they put the movie out. And it's like, okay, you're going to get on a podcast for the world to listen to, and you just trashing your employer. I mean, yeah, people don't like the employer, and maybe he had an issue with how they handled the way the movie was released. But the things he said, it wasn't talked about in like a professional adult way. It was like, oh, here is my opportunity to just trash Disney and say all kind of mean things about the producers, the directors, whatever else. And it's just bad. I think it was in bad taste how he did it.
Yeah, and Extreme Zone says, aren't most of the actors two-faced nowadays? Most of them, they always have been.
Yeah.
They always have been. That's why people have criticized me for talking about Dwayne Johnson. But I don't like him. My argument is, you don't know who he really is. Well, he lives a character all the time. He is a character, even when he's not on stage. Who you see when you see Dwayne Johnson is a character, because he's got a persona, he's got a facade to keep up, but you don't know who he really is. You don't know what he's really like. He could be a monster, We don't know.
But that's anybody.
Yeah,
though.
that's anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But not everybody knows just anybody. Dwayne Johnson, most people know him. They don't know him personally, but they know who he is.
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But or like Schwarzenegger turned out to be like that. Schwarzenegger turned out to be a big jerk.
Yeah. Saying all that stuff about the disease.
Yeah, well, yeah, screw your freedom.
Yeah.
But he it was revealed a lot longer back than that he's kind of an ass in real life. But a lot of these people are keeping up a facade, and this kid's not even smart enough to do that.
Yeah.
Basically, this Chang Shi actor's not even smart enough to put on an act.
Gilgamesh, absolutely. An actor can make me not want to watch a movie. Brie Larson and a couple others have pretty much turned me off to Marvel movies completely. Robert, I always loved the comics where Superman was a complete jerk. Bill Cosby, Picture Pages, and Captain Kangaroo. Robert went out with Laura and Front Lois. Okay. Last message, sorry. Yeah, Lou Ferrigno put me off so much I trashed his TV series. I met him in person and had a bad experience with him. Don't meet your heroes is true.
So have I.
Yeah.
I've had a bad experience with Lou Ferrigno, and I've heard that from a lot of people. Basically, because someone's asking here, Robert said, what did Lou do? Lou's just got a real piss poor attitude. He does not like what he's doing. You don't like
why do it?
Because he needs to get paid. He can't do nothing else except sit there and sign autographs. He's not acting anymore. He's not doing anything anymore. He's not strong man. He's not whatever. So he goes and he does the autograph circuit, but he hates doing it. Yeah. And you can feel it. Some people, they don't like it. Oh, believe me, you know it when you go to their table. And Lou just has this persona when you get around him, and the way he looks at you and the way he talks to you. And it's not because he's deaf, because that's what the show promoter will tell you. Oh, you have to understand he's deaf. Yeah, okay.
Kaiser says, yeah, he had some disgusting thing to say about pedophilia. Yeah, that Shang Lu guy, whatever his name is, he did say some things about pedophilia because he said that he had to play a role where he was a pedophile. So he did research, and during his research, he found a new respect for pedophiles. And he compared it to being
they're misunderstood.
Yeah, they're misunderstood.
And stuff like that. And it's like, dude,
I don't know. You rub up on a child. Yeah, that's not being misunderstood. That's being nasty. There's a lot of things bad should happen to you if you do things like that. I mean, I don't know.
She's not wrong.
No. Yeah, I never met anyone, so I just enjoy the characters the characters, not the real person who might be a jerk. Yeah, I've never met anybody in person, TV personality in person. So what I know of them on the show is what is in my mind. I think they're great on the show, so maybe they'll be a great person. Unless you see something on TV that says otherwise, like an interview or something like that. A lot of celebrities are becoming just evil, being in Hollywood too long. Yeah.
You get too full of yourself, and then you reach a point where you're not that relevant anymore, and you want to still stay in the public eye. So you'll go along with anything to remain popular and agree to all kinds of stupid things and make statements that you have no business being part of. And it really just ruins what little you had left. You'd be better off just bowing out gracefully than making a fool out of yourself or alienating people or whatever.
Yeah, picking a side. And it's
picking fights, having pissing matches.
And it's like nobody wants to hear that. We don't care. Gilgamesh, one of the reasons I like anime more than live action is because the characters in the show are who they are. Yeah, because they're cartoon characters. Well, I still enjoy their movies. I don't meet them in real life. Are you guys going to anyone's cons this year? We go to like local. We going to, I think it's RetroCon, and that's in November in Greenville, South Carolina. We don't go to the big ones like New York or San Diego. New York
Comic-Con, SDCC. We're not flying anywhere.
They're having a second SDCC coming up in November. Special edition SDCC is in November. Yeah. I think it's November. I saw the dates yesterday because New York Comic-Con is coming up. Emerald City is coming up in December.
Yeah, I don't know if that's late or early. Because usually they're in like February or something, right?
It's February or March. It's like in March. Yeah. And they didn't talk about the New York Toy Fair. I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah, Kaiser says, don't meet your heroes. There's very few authentic ones. That's true. Very few of them are genuine. And it's hard to pick out. And even when you know that they aren't, even when you know that it's a facade, they will still cover it up. Yeah. Like Ellen. Anybody who's ever worked with Ellen has got a book to write about how evil she was to them. But Hollywood loves her. She's the golden girl. She's the one that got an Oscar for like 3 lines in a movie, talking about Finding Nemo. She barely did anything in that film.
She won an award for that.
She got an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in an animated film or some kind of crap. And it's like, there are professional voice actors who are really good at what they do that will never get recognized. But she got an Oscar. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little Hollywood. That's how they do now. You don't earn awards anymore. They give them away. Or what was it John Belushi said? John Belushi said that he got an award at some kind of thing. I forget what it was. And he said, "Thank you for this. It's not like getting an Oscar or an Emmy or something like that because you have to buy those."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that was in I think the late 70s that he said
that. Master Hoarder Lou's not even that huge of an actor. He won Mr. Olympia and he played the Hulk. He's nowhere close to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And he's been riding that Hulk train since, I don't know when he got on the circuits. I remember him seeing him doing shows in the early 90s, and that's when I had a couple of brushes with him. And he was not a nice guy,
but he's never really did anything else outside of
not really Incredible cameos.
Hulk.
A couple of cameos, like he was in a cameo in 2 of the Hulk films as a security guard, things like that. Nothing major, I don't think.
Kaiser says Ellen either worked for the CIA or the FBI. He don't remember which. Hey, look at Bill Cosby. Points fingers. Bill Cosby. Look at.
Look at Bill Cosby, and that's a different topic of discussion. But I saw some of the transcript from that trial, and the thing is, the people that were, I'm not condoning or condemning Bill Cosby, but the people that were the plaintiffs said that they knew what they were doing. You knew you were going to do something with Bill. You knew you were going to take drugs, and now, like 20 some odd years later, you're going to complain about it. Yeah. So I don't. I mean, is it weird? Sure, but they knew what they were doing.
And they were adults.
Can you complain about that all like decades later? Yeah. I don't know. What I didn't like was how they tried to completely erase all of his work, because he's done some good work. Fat Albert, the Electric Company. He was involved in a lot of really decent projects.
Yeah, and
Lou did a Hercules film. I think so. That's right.
And now we live in the cancel culture where if you just say one thing out of line, you get off the road there, then they're gonna cancel you. They're gonna delete you from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all those other social media. You can't play your music on the radio. Don't watch your movies no more. All of that stuff happens to you now.
And then they do that to jump on board to try to be relevant, like Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin saying that he wants the cameo of Trump removed from Home Alone 2, where he bumped into him in the hotel. And he said, like, 3 words
Mm-hmm.
to the kid, to Kevin,
Mm-hmm.
to the character,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, what's the matter, Macaulay? You bored? No one's heard from you in like 15 years.
Yeah.
Where have you been? What have you been doing? You don't hear from Macaulay Culkin anymore.
No.
He retired and walked away because he didn't want to act. Now all of a sudden he wants to be in media all over the place, and so he's going to say something against Trump. Why? Because he doesn't like Trump, or because that's getting on the bandwagon and he wants attention.
Because he wants attention.
Yeah. So shut up, Macaulay. Just let us enjoy Home Alone and just go away.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Macaulay what a has been. Yeah, because he walked away from acting.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got some great child films. Uncle Buck, love Uncle Buck, love the original Home Alone. They're cool films. The Good Son, creepy.
Yeah, he was good in that movie.
He was good in that film.
He was very creepy in that movie. He played a good villain.
But he quit. He quit acting. He didn't want to act anymore. He divorced his parents.
Mm-hmm.
He had a big lawsuit with his parents for stealing money or whatever, and disappeared. No one heard from him forever. Now all of a sudden he wants everybody to notice him again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you should have thought about that 20, 30 years ago.
Kaiser would say accent if he did drugs. I don't know. I don't follow.
I don't know.
I've seen pictures of him.
It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, he does. He looks like Shaggy. He looks like Shaggy do anyways.
That's what Master Hoarder said.
Okay.
So, but
never saw a Good Son. Want to see that? Yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah, it is a good movie. He plays the lady's son, and he plays the villain, and he does a really good job as
basically
a villain.
He's like a little psychotic 10-year-old.
Yeah,
and
a little jealous,
evil stuff.
Jealous, psychotic 10-year-old, or however old they were. Master Mexico, just to say, I know
cancel culture
and hold on, my eyes are got blurry. Go ahead.
I know cancel culture and speech control with all its consequences firsthand. We had 2 Germans, Germany dictated by that. Don't let the words being turned around in your mouth. It's too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Merkel's over there doing it now. Are you sure you just had 2?
Yeah. I think he had more than that. Macaulay is just jealous because his brother is getting famous.
Oh, this Quicksilver.
Hey, Quicksilver.
Oh, I don't know what his brother's doing.
I don't know.
And Kaiser says child actors usually don't turn out too well.
No,
they really don't. Or they grow up to be really weird adults. That's what happened to Britney Spears.
Yeah,
she came out of the Mickey Mouse Club, right?
Yeah.
And she went bonkers for a while.
Yeah, she had that little nervous breakdown or whatever happened to her.
Yeah.
And now she's all over the news. Most let me see. I was on Nostalgia Critic. He seems like a decent guy. Everyone's right to opinion, I guess.
Who was on Nostalgia Critic?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that, so I don't know.
No. Most young actors die.
Well,
thank you, Robert.
You got to kill them when they're young. You got to get rid of them early so they don't grow into old actors. Yeah, Brittany. I know and then when it does happen, when something like that does happen, like Brittany's little nervous breakdown there.
Mm-hmm.
Do they understand? Do they have any sympathy for it? No, they tear the person to shreds.
Yeah.
You remember what? I'm sure all of you saw the original Spider-Man, with Willem Dafoe as the Hobgoblin, or not the Hobgoblin, the Green Goblin. The Hobgoblin is the orange one. The Green Goblin. What did he tell Spider-Man about people who are famous?
I don't know what.
That as much as paraphrasing, as much as people like to see a hero, he's talking about heroes really, but as long as they like to build them up and pay attention to them, whatever, what they really like is to see them fail and fall so that they can tear them down.
But that's what people do nowadays. They build you up all nice and high, and then they pull the rug from under you, and you come crashing down 100 feet. And then they stomp all over you. They pull up all kind of tweets and pictures of you at a party when you was 15 years ago, and a tweet you did 30 years ago, and they just do all kind of things just to rip you to shreds. And it's like, well, yesterday you were building the person up, they were the greatest ever alive, and all of that.
Yeah.
So it's like, Axel Foley is saying something. What is he saying?
Oh no, and Robert says that Macaulay Culkin was on Nostalgia Critic. He seemed like a cool guy.
Oh, okay.
Remember, actor. He's an actor. But I don't know. I'm just saying because of his statements about that with Trump jumping on that bandwagon when everybody was hating on him.
Okay, In Time, movie starring Justin Timberlake. Have you seen it? No, we've never seen it. It's one of Axel's favorite movies. If you haven't seen it, he recommends it. In Time with Justin Timberlake. I know I haven't seen
it. In Time.
Mm-hmm. We'll see if it's on one of our streaming services. In Time, Justin Timberlake.
And yeah. Extreme Zone says, remember that time when you were a kid and wished you were famous? Not now that we're all older and wiser. No, well, you were young. When you're young, it looks glamorous.
Yeah.
And then, when you get to really when you're older and you see how it really is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really very desirable.
Well, you know what also gets you, because I like to watch shows like Behind the Music and what's that other one on BET? I can't remember, but it's the same as Behind the Music, just like Black artists. But they talk about how, as an artist, you start up, you get in the band, and the issues you deal with, and how somewhere along the way you might get into drugs, you might have a fight and all of that. And then they realize, looking back, that it wasn't all they thought it was going to be. And, a lot of them have some regrets. Some of them, they trying to keep going because they need money or whatever. And it's like, sometimes it's just sad to see how you want something for so long and then you finally get it. And then you realize, man, this is not what I expected it to be.
Yeah. Kaiser says you don't have to make movies to be a celebrity. YouTube changed that forever.
Yeah.
You know who predicted it?
Who?
Max Headroom. Who remembers Max Headroom?
Not me.
The host from the old MTV. Who remembers that there was actually a live action television series based on that character that he actually morphed in? I think it was only a season, but it might have been on ABC. And in that reality, it was set in the future. It was like a dystopian future, and everybody had a TV station. Everybody had a satellite link. There was like 10,000 TV stations, and they had one of the characters was a guy who ran his TV show out of his trailer. He had the dish on the roof, and everybody was fighting for views and ratings. And that's kind of where we are, actually. It kind of happened.
It says, stay cool, stay clean, talk plastic. I feel fine here in our collecting living room.
Yeah.
No famous people here, just people. And just that's people. What you try to be.
I don't need to be famous.
No.
This is
all you got to do is be friendly, be kind, be considerate of others. Don't tear each other down. Some people just love it, and they live to tear you down.
It's crazy.
Let's see. Out of Sight, My Girl, and My Page Master.
My Girl and Page Master. There's a couple of Macaulay Culkin
films. Oh, yeah,
films.
My Girl. They were good Macaulay Culkin films. I heard of My Girl. I never saw it. I never heard of Page Master.
I think that's animated.
Okay. But I remember, Broly can't remember the Max TV show.
Yeah, and what's really being famous is when people 20 years after your death, do you remember Paul? They don't make these kind of shows anymore. That's fame. Max Headroom rules.
Max Headroom official.
Spokesman for Coca-Cola.
Oh, was he?
Yep.
Okay, we all caught up.
That's my mascot. Ronald McDonald.
Turn telephone.
This is a telephone. This is a telephone. See?
Where's the button? Oh, it's on the
It's
back.
on his back, yeah.
Oh.
And there's the earpiece and
the thing you plug in the wall.
Remember when you used to do that?
Plug the phone up in the wall.
Hello.
You don't plug phones in the wall anymore.
This is not for retail market. This was a manager's phone. If you owned a McDonald's restaurant in the 80s, this was the phone.
I worked at McDonald's.
Yeah. And they had another one where his legs were crossed, and that one's harder to find than this one. I found this at Cobb Antique Mall.
Oh, when we went there?
Yeah. So I'm putting up a video about Cobb Antique Mall, and if anybody asks what I got there, this is it. This is like clean as I don't know what.
Yeah, that is a
clean they're hard to find. These are really hard to find. But because I have my my icons little collection, especially McDonald's and Burger King. Even though Burger King is a little bit more dear to me from childhood, I have more memories of Burger King than McDonald's because it was closer.
Kaiser says it's Ronald McDonald officially done as a mascot.
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think stores too much have mascots like Burger King. They tried to bring back the King for a minute every so often on a commercial.
But he was targeted at our age group.
Yeah, but I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
You don't see too many, but they tried to bring back the Burger King.
Yeah, we've been thinking about doing a series on the channel, Whatever Happened To. And that's a topic for discussion. Whatever happened to when restaurants were kid friendly and in fact even child oriented. McDonald's, Burger King, a lot of these places, they were aiming at kids. Tasty Freeze, Dairy Queen. They wanted a family setting. They wanted a place where kids felt comfortable coming to, primarily because, hey, have you ever seen kids in a restaurant? Little kids, most parents, they don't manage their children well. They're running around, crawling under tables. It ought to be legal to trip them.
Running in the back.
Yeah, being making a mess on the floor, just whatever. And so they made it a place where, okay, your kid can come and he's gonna be occupied. And I thought that's a pretty cool concept looking back at it, but that's all gone because now they all want to be Starbucks. They all want to be coffee shops and they want you in and out.
No, they say that until them old people come in there and refuse to leave. Because those old senior citizens come in there and they stay all day.
Yeah.
They don't leave.
They nurse that cup of coffee.
And they keep on getting that free refill. But people go in there to use the Wi-Fi. They go in there just to sit and take a break. They go in there and buy a cup of tea and drink all day. So people don't leave Burger King. You go in there to meet the insurance man and talk about insurance and stuff like that. Nice, safe place to meet. What Axel Foley saying?
Where?
Here.
Oh, anyone remember the Invisible Man TV series 75 to 76? Did they release any action figures for that guy? Is that the one that had the same actor from Man from U.N.C.L.E.? He used to play Ilya Kuryakin on Man from U.N.C.L.E. I don't think there was any toys for that at all, if that's the one. I always wanted to see one of those puppet McNuggets being picked up and eaten in the commercial. Okay.
Apparently, Grimace is a taste bud. Okay. I don't know what Grimace was. Did they ever say? He was just a character.
I thought he was an insect. At first, well, the original one had 4 arms.
Oh, did he?
He had 4 arms, and that was back when they used to have these characters actually go to the restaurants, and Grimace would freak the kids out, and they figured out, well, maybe if we gave him 2 arms, he would look less intimidating, and it worked. That was the change that needed to happen, was cutting off the extra arms, and all it was, they put like a piano wire, and so the other hand, so when he lifted his hands up, they'd all move, but it freaked him out. But I've got a lot of mascot stuff. I've got all the Remco McDonald's and the Hasbro Ronald, and I did a showcase on both of those actually. some vintage, some real vintage Burger King prizes.
Master Mexico, I only go to Burger King to buy or sell motorbikes these days, as old tastes better than what they sell.
Yeah, Robert says hanging out a long time shouldn't be a sin.
It is when they think you're taking up space.
Yeah, I know.
And like people going sitting there that long anyway. You know, it's not crowded. Happy accident. He was purple. That's all that mattered to me. At least a grimace representative. The drink. What? Read that. I can't see that.
Happy accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was purple. That's all that mattered to me. At least a grimace represented the drinks because he was shaped like a pear, and if he drank too much soda and shakes, and he was bloated. And I guess, well, they did have the Shamrock Shake, and he had a cousin or an uncle that was green.
Oh, Grimace. Did he?
Yeah, and they would bring the Shamrock Shake out for St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm. They still do that? I never had a Shamrock Shake.
I don't think they do any of that anymore.
Oh. I used to work at McDonald's.
See, there's my 1980.
This is heavy. Got some weight on it.
1983 Grimace, made by McDonald's Corp. That's not a retail toy.
Yes,
it's Grimace.
Mm-hmm.
He's happy. Grimace is happy. Happiness.
They still have Shamrock Shakes on March.
Okay.
Yeah, for the month of March. I've had one.
I don't remember. If I did,
I never had one. I
would have been like really, really freaking young if I had a shake.
Arby's has good shakes. They do. Now I like Andy's mint and orange dreamsicle. Hardee's have good shakes, and Chick-fil-A has good strawberry.
You know who doesn't have good shakes anymore?
McDonald's.
Their shakes are terrible now, and they're under investigation for that right now.
Yeah, actually, I saw the news
because they've got taggets in the shakes. That's why their shake and ice cream machines are always jamming up. They never work.
Mm-hmm.
The taggets are little bits of little microscopic balls of plastic that are mixed in with it to keep the texture a certain way. So you're drinking freaking plastic balls. And I forget who it is, but they're investigating McDonald's because of that and how much of what is in those shakes.
The guy.
The machines are always, the guy, are always breaking down. That's scary. That's freaking scary.
Extreme Zone and Happy Accident make me want to go to Arby's and get a cream milkshake.
Creamsicle.
Orange cream, shake.
Do they? You want to run out and get a shake? What's wrong with you?
I only had it once. Felt sick after. Kaiser said he had Arby's once. I like their fries. They have the curly fries, the seasoned fries. Okay. They're pretty good.
You know who has really good seasoned fries is Pizza Hut. But they only give you like
like 3-4 fries.
Like, please, sir, may I have some more? They just it's expensive too. They get this little tiny packet of fries.
Master Mexico with shakes for me. It's like with toys. I'm always looking for a certain experience. I get rare. It's getting rare, but I still have it.
Hey, I'm a shake and ice cream guy. So
McDonald's have its own official merchandise shop now on their website. Oh, do they?
I don't want modern stuff though. I want
this sell pops on it.
Yeah, that's right. I want vintage stuff. I want vintage stuff. Not like modern stuff targeting nostalgia.
They sell McDonald's Funko Pops and then it sells out and people get mad. Robert is saying, does it Frito-Lay smell like feet?
I don't know.
Oh, wow. Chick-fil-A's coming to Canada. Chick-fil-A is good. I like Chick-fil-A. Mm-hmm. You ate at Chick-fil-A. The fries. He doesn't eat meat. David does.
Kaiser says he wants to make a custom Royal 1/12 scale figure.
Okay.
Well, it's already been done.
Oh, is it?
Well, the
You got an action figure.
Remco's McDonald's action figures were 12 scale. I can show you one if you never saw it. Axel Foley, correct. Same guy, David McCullum, British. Yep, that's right.
What?
The guy who played Ilya Kuryakin in Man from U.N.C.L.E. was also the guy who was in the Invisible Man series. It was only one season, but there was no merchandising associated with that, so far as I know. Subway smells like feet because they never clean the place.
Subway doesn't have real meat on their bread, on their stuff.
That was the tuna.
Yeah,
tuna. They're under investigation too because people can't
determine what that
is. They've sent the tuna to laboratories and they've determined we don't know what it is, but it's not. Not only is it not tuna, it's not even seafood. Yeah. They still don't know what it is. They still don't know what that stuff is.
Bad.
That's scary. It's probably some kind of like 3D printed meat, like they're doing with Kentucky Fried Chicken in China.
How do you get 3D printed meat?
You can do it. We have the technology.
I guess.
We have the technology.
3D printed food.
That's disgusting.
It can't have any nutritional value.
That is the 1976 Remco McDonald's Ronald figure, or McDonald Land, and he is 12 scale. He is 12 scale, and I have the whole set, but without bringing them out here, that's all the figures. Actually, I should bring it up here.
Yeah.
That's all the figures, and then that's the play set. And that's all they made. But yeah, so one already exists. Loose, he should be pretty cheap, actually. If you find a loose example on eBay that you want to mess around with, or any of those figures loose. On the card, that's another story. On the card, it can get up there.
Robert, did you get that car figure or that Christine figure? Did you get either one of those? I haven't gotten it yet because I'm still trying to wait for the price to come down. But I want the car, and I do want that Christine to go with my set. Master Mexico, is McDonald's still the biggest toy dealer in the world? Were they ever a toy dealer?
Well, they contract the manufacturing of their own
toys. The Happy Meal prizes?
Mostly. Unless it's a direct intellectual property like Matchbox makes their own Matchbox cars for it if they do that.
Oh, okay.
Things like that, but they make their own toys. I'm not sure though.
Do you still get toys in the Happy Meal?
Yeah.
It looked like they give you Funko Pops now.
Yeah, the toys aren't as interesting as they used to be. I want those what do they call them? The meal bots. I used to have the whole set.
Oh, where the little pieces of food transform.
Yeah, they look like Transformers. They made them in the 80s, and I gotta
Average Gamer
look for those again. Hey, Average Gamer.
Starting lineup plastic protective covers are selling more than most of the carded figures. Yeah, because those plastic covers fit a lot of stuff.
They fit a lot of different things.
Yeah, especially like the G.I. Joe figures and some of the Star Wars figures, they fit.
Yeah.
I still want to get to them too. That dirty version, Christine, is beautiful. Yeah, I really want that, but the price. I'm waiting for the price to come down.
Kaiser says, are they going to make all the cereal mascots into figures like Frankenberry and Chocula? I'm not sure if Jade is going to do the other ones, but it wouldn't surprise me if they knocked out the whole line.
I think they try to wait to see how things are going to go. You know, how they sell.
It's still up. It's still pre-order, I think, for those two. And then, you know, because there's Yummy Mummy, Fruit Brute, Blueberry, and then, you know, they can do other General Mills characters like the Trix Rabbit, stuff like that. That would be interesting.
Extreme Zone. I remember getting a Kermit the Frog on a skateboard in a Happy Meal when I was a kid. Played with it.
The Muppet Babies figures from the 80s Happy Meal prizes.
I have the Bernstein Bear set.
She does.
Ronald,
they're flocked.
Yeah. They had some nice stuff.
Yeah, they did. And gee, I don't know. People were asking me about the HasLab Galactus. Is it HasLab or Hasbro Pulse? What's the difference?
I think it's the same.
I don't know. I think it's the same thing.
I think it's interchangeable.
But people were asking me if I got the Galactus. I did go ahead and get a Galactus because I do have a bunch of Build-A-Figures. I thought it would be nice to get one. I did not, however, get the Sentinel because people were asking me too. Hey, did you get that Sentinel? What do you think of the Sentinel? I haven't handled one, so I don't know. But there have been a lot of complaints about the Sentinel. People are pretty pissed off because there's a defect in a lot of the figures in the knees, and the knees are weak. He has trouble standing up. As heavy as he is, it's a big, heavy figure. He's like 16 pounds or something. I don't know, but he won't stand properly. And like even if you sit him down, because he's fully jointed, and you straighten his legs up, they just drop at the knees. They just fall. And they're saying that it was like a quality control issue, but it's not a quality control issue. That's a design flaw. And hopefully they'll take note of that when they make the Galactus. But I think they knew something was wrong because they didn't close out on the Galactus. They closed out on the Galactus just before, because the Sentinel was getting released. But nobody got their first Sentinel until after the window on Galactus closed. Because if you got that figure in hand and said, "Wait, what the hell is this?" and then heard that there was a lot of other problems, a lot of people were having this issue, you might go back and cancel your Galactus order because you still have, and actually you still have, I want to say till the 30th of this month to cancel Galactus
and get a full refund.
Yeah,
I mean,
because it's already paid in full. You pay the whole amount in advance. You don't make a down payment like with a regular pre-order. This is a crowd fund, so you have to put your money on. You have to put your money where your mouth is, and so people could still potentially turn around and cancel their order, and some might.
Yeah, but now that they know, okay, this thing is all messed up, they might do the extra steps because they haven't made it yet. You know what I mean? Or they haven't got to the point where they can't go back and fix it because it's not going to be released until when, next year, sometime 2022.
Yeah, October next year.
Yeah, so they got time to fix that, the arms, the knees, or whatever.
I hope so.
And fix all those problems.
There's a couple of videos out there, I think, showing you how to tweak it so those knees will tighten up properly.
I saw it out there. I didn't watch any. I watched some of the videos, and they were showing how the knees was all messed up, and some people were mad, and others was like, oh, whatever, it's all right. But that wouldn't be funny if 25,000 cancel a Galactus order. Yeah,
right. Oh, Axel Foley says sci-fi series Sapphire and Steel also starred David McCullough. I have that box set actually.
Oh, you do?
Sapphire and Steel. I do.
I remember that being on TV, but I don't remember watching it, so I'm not sure.
Let me see. Are you going to cancel Galactus? Still torn on the Mezco FF, but what would it scale with? No, I'm not going to cancel the Galactus, but the Mezco Fantastic Four would scale with that Galactus.
Oh, would it?
Because they're only about, in 12 scale, I mean, it's really only a difference of about maybe a half an inch on the figure scale from going from a Legends figure to like a Mezco. So you could take those Fantastic Four Mezco figures and put them with that Galactus, and I think they would fit nicely.
Oh, imagine you open Galactus and he falls apart.
If it does, you'll see it because I'll do an unboxing when it gets here.
Oh, that would just be awful.
Yeah.
Don't say that. I know that's right.
Yeah, I know. because you never know. You never
Yeah.
know with a lot of this stuff. Like I said, no one pays me to talk. I say that a lot. I get these figures. If I do an unboxing, I'm going to tell you what I see. Yeah, it says you have to assemble it yourself. Yeah, there is some assembly with those.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there's some assembly. There is some assembly with that figure in that scale, but that's okay.
I mean, it's just like when you get the statues, you got to put it together.
Some are harder than others.
But this is an action figure, though.
Yes, it's going to be a jointed action figure. Well, you got to assemble a Build-A-Figure too, because it's all like anywhere from like 4 to 8 pieces usually, somewhere around there. Some of the statues aren't that hard to put together.
No,
it depends. That Serpentor took a minute.
Yeah, that Serpentor had a lot of pieces.
Yeah, a lot of pieces.
Usually it's like 2-3 pieces sometimes.
Yeah, and
but that one had a lot.
And that FMA, Keldor.
Oh yeah, that one had a lot of pieces.
It took some work to put it together. It didn't have too many pieces, but it took some work. There's some fragile bits and pieces there.
Robert loves spending his weekend with us. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
The guy said each sold separately, batteries not included. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Is the Sentinel supposed to the Galactus? I mean, is it supposed to light up or something?
Yes.
Oh, you better hope.
I don't know if it comes with batteries or not. It might not, but and that's a complaint I've had before with like 3-0, for example. It's like, dude, you throw a couple of batteries into this price because Mezco, Hot Toys, any other 6 or 12 scale figure I've reviewed had freaking batteries. But we'll see.
Yeah, the cats aren't down here because they can't come in the collection room because they tear up. Well, the black and white one.
Crumb will be all over the place if he's down here.
Jump on things.
He'll try to scale the wall and get into the drop ceiling. But the other cat, because of her leg, because of the damage to her leg, she doesn't typically jump on things unless it's like your lap. She'll jump up and sit on you, but she's not going to try to jump on platforms and stuff. She doesn't like it.
Average Gamer says he see the Croft figures that you have on display. Did they make Land of the Lost in that set?
No, the Living Toys only made these 4. Land of the Lost, in the early 90s, there was a series of.
Thank you.
Oh wow, thank you, Axel. In the early 90s, based on the second incarnation of the show, because remember they tried to bring the show back in the early 90s, and I think it was Tiger Toys made a Land of the Lost action figure series, which we were talking about that earlier. There's 90s action figure lines that have not really jumped off and gotten expensive, and that's one of them. That you could probably find those for like $15-20 a figure. And then, of course, we got our family that lives out in the backyard.
Yeah, the cat family, the 4, mom, dad, and the 2 kids that's back there.
Yeah, because that's a long story, but they adopted our yard. But people have asked us to do a couple of videos talking about the cats specifically. And that the cat, the yard family is an interesting story, though, how that all worked.
Yeah, they starting to warm up. They starting to let you touch. Well, Dad is starting to let you touch him. I want a Amigo Sleestack.
Yeah, Sleestack has always been a popular character from that show, but it's never been officially done. Sid and Marty Croft, they made some odds and ends, but they never made action figures or anything like that. They get lunch boxes. And, they had a puppet theater, like a punch out with even had little strings and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it was a punch out cardboard thing, stuff like that. But never action figures. They had some hand puppets, like they did hand puppets of HR Puff and stuff, and Witchy Poo and things like that.
I buy
a Crumb Build-A-Figure. Crumb's a big baby now. He used to be silly. He was rough when he first got here because remember they all strays. They're all strays that we just kind of took care of. But he's
turned
into a huge baby now. He wants to be picked up and carried around.
Yeah.
And you should see him when we come home. He's a greeter. So when we come home, you can see his little face in the window. And then when we pull into the garage and we open the door, there he is, and he jumps up on the truck. And then he rolls around all over the truck bed. He rolls around and rubs on it, and he wants you to scratch him. It's weird. But he climbs up on you, and he rubs his face on your chin like 20 times.
Mm-hmm.
And he likes to greet you. It's like, I wonder if he sits there all day looking in the window like, are they here? Are they here? Are they here?
They don't do that.
Maybe he might. She sleeps all the time.
All day, yeah.
I never see the cat sleep as long as she does. She's always asleep. But
now
I can actually hear her. Or is that's probably
him? He's wondering where everybody is.
He might can hear my voice, and he's wondering where the hell I am. But
it said they adopted the both of us.
Pretty much. Yeah. I think we're
showed up.
I think we're Kitty's retirement plan. The female.
Yeah.
Because she was out in the backwoods for like 2 years, wouldn't come near the house.
Mm-hmm.
We'd see her back there. She'd creep up and steal some food from the bowl we leave out occasionally. And like I said, she's got the twisted up leg because it had been broken at some point and set on its own. And then one day she just come in the house. She started coming up, hanging out on the porch more, and she came in the house one day and won't leave. You open a door. If you open an outside door near her, she starts backing up and retreats into the house.
Uncle Joe, after watching enough of your unboxings, I finally caved and got myself a Daredevil figure. Good for you.
3 Daredevil figures.
3 Daredevil, my poor wallet.
Which ones? The Mezcos? Because I have 2 Mezco Daredevils.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I've got the original yellow costume version.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the one you gave me that was on the Netflix show.
Yeah, I like the Netflix Daredevil.
Yeah, I think they did a great job on that show.
They did a good job on that one, on Punisher, and this the black guy. Luke Cage.
Were well done.
Yeah, they were well done. I think they had good actors that played the parts very well. I'm sorry that Netflix canceled them all. I couldn't understand that move, but now after seeing what Netflix is doing, I don't think those shows fit the agenda they were trying to push. So they got rid of them, I think. Somebody donate to my wallet, says Kaiser.
Yeah, me too. I need a...
Uncle Joe said, I got the Kenner Retro, the Infinite Series Yellow, and the 90s animated Daredevil. Okay. Got some good stuff.
My poor wallet. Yeah, that's everybody. We all on that train.
Robert, he's more of a 1/6. Yeah, he like to build his own hot toys.
And that's cool.
Yeah, that's good. I thought about that, but like I said, I can't find the head sculpts that I want. So, and I can't find a head sculptor. I've contacted several people on Instagram and Facebook, and I can't get a response. So, I'll try again at a later date. David McCullen has also acted in the sci-fi series Sapphire and Lace. He said, I used to watch it every day when I came home from school.
Yeah, and like I said, I have that box set upstairs.
Is that like a detective show?
Kind of, but they're supernatural.
Mm.
They have supernatural abilities.
Robert says he stays with the 1/6 movie type characters and he stays away from cartoon stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he will stray.
Every now and then.
Stray every now and then.
Sure.
Yeah, don't we all? We'll get off track occasionally and end up getting something that we didn't think that we would.
Then you start going down a whole nother rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know.
And then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I know. And then you open up your wallet, you blow the dust
out. I find myself doing customs of movie type characters. Okay. Will Smith, Sean Connery, Harrison Ford, etc. Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Just as long as you don't make Pluto Nash.
He did Coming to America.
Or Meet Dave. Oh, that one's bad.
But Meet Dave?
Yeah, Meet Dave.
I never saw that.
With Eddie Murphy. Yeah, it's take a nap. Don't even try to watch it.
That bad?
Yeah.
The Shang-Chi figures.
They were in the clearance shelf before the film even came out because they timed it wrong. There was a problem with the timing with the movie release and the toy release.
I'm gonna go see what's wrong with this cat.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. You keep going.
Maybe his bowl's empty.
Maybe because he's gonna be yelling.
I think. Norbit.
Norbit was stupid.
The first half of Norbit was all right. It's like for the first 40 or 45 minutes of the show or the movie was written by one person and the rest was written by somebody else. That's what Norbit felt like. And the first half of the movie was just better, in my opinion. And then the second half of the film, I don't know what happened with Norbit. It got weird. Oh, Uncle Joe found a Jet Jaguar figure for $12 at Target the other day. Okay. Pluto Nash. You want to see Pluto Nash. I don't know. It's not a bad film, but the hype and the amount of money that was spent on it, and then they pulled it out of the theater. It's one of the biggest box office bombs in history because I think they spent almost $100 million in production and then barely made $8 million in the box office or something ridiculous like that. You look it up and see for yourself. I'm just, I'm not sure if I remember the numbers exactly, but it was a huge box office failure, and Disney panned it. They said, take it out of the theaters. They just ran it over. Said Master says Norbit got away good in Germany as people thought it's about a common German guy, as Norbit is a common German name, but it was a bummer. No, he wasn't German. Oh yeah, custom Axel Foley as Beverly Hills Cop, the first one, not 2 and 3, but yeah, the original Beverly Hills Cop is a classic. I don't know about those other two though. But isn't that the way? Sometimes a sequel doesn't need to be made. Like Darkman, the original Darkman, fun movie. There didn't need to be 4 of them, especially since Liam Neeson was only in the first one. Murphy was good as Dr. Dolittle. I didn't see Murphy as Dr. Dolittle. I only remember the original Rex Harrison Dr. Dolittle from 1967. But I never saw Eddie Murphy as Dr. Dolittle. You know that Rex Harrison from Dr. Dolittle is one of the original technical action figures. Because in 1967, Mattel released action figures based on that movie. Oh, yeah, Kaiser, boring designs for the Eternals. Yeah, well, they just based them staunchly off of the characters in the film. I think I talked about that in the live stream, not the live stream, in the weekly roundup, because they no effort was necessary. They just copied them, and they don't look good at all. Actually, and anybody who gets that, they just want to build a figure. Let me see. Yeah, I guess you were going off of what the guy was saying there because I missed that. The Eternal movie figures will be in the clearance aisle as well. They're boring looking. They are. They really screwed it up with those figures. You remember the Eternals figures we saw a couple of weeks back?
Yeah, we saw the Shang-Li one in the clearance too.
Shang-Chi's been in clearance for a while.
Yeah. Oh, he said Murphy was good as Dr. Dolittle. Will the iPhone be a collector's item in 100 years? Place your bets. Yeah, bringing boring designs. Oh, the Eternals. Okay, you done. Sorry. Yep, phone.
Robert's asking about Hammer film characters. Sideshow.
Hammer film.
Yeah, Hammer film. The Dracula and
I like the Hammer films
and Van Helsing.
Hammer films are pretty good.
They did. They're fun.
Yeah. And you can always tell a Hammer film. That's the thing. They have a style
on YouTube. Newcastle After Dark, and it's a couple of guys. They host films like that, including Hammer films, and they sit there and they do a little commentary. And it's kind of fun.
But on Pluto, they got a channel where they play a lot of Hammer films, and they have a TV show. I can't remember the name of the show, but it's like an hour long, and Hammer made that show. I can't remember the name, but I've seen some episodes and they're pretty good. But it's like a weekly show. You know, they play it all day long, and but it's like an hour long. Yeah. Uncle Joe, okay, but did you see the new picture of
I think they're talking amongst themselves about Jet Jaguar and Godzilla and a couple of things.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and Extreme Zone thinks we'll all have barcodes on our neck. No, they won't need to do that. They'll just scan right through your skin. You have an implant.
Well, now, yeah, because that implant thing has been picking up some steam, so people are doing that. Shang Li failed big time in Mexico. Mm-hmm. Toys had been taken out of the shelves in June, and nobody, but really not a single soul talks about it. Dune instead got quit off of recognition.
Yeah, people aren't too. People have been pretty skeptical about the new Dune figures coming out. About the new Dune film coming out, because it's never really been done right, anyways. Mm-hmm. And I talked about this last time, because Dune, it's a handful of thick novels, mm-hmm. and you're going to compress it down into a film. And the original film is okay with Sting, by the way. Sting was in it. And then there's the miniseries, and the miniseries is okay. Mm-hmm. I watched the miniseries, and now they're going to try to do it again, and it's like, and people aren't feeling it. They don't know if the new one is gonna pull it off or not. But time will tell. You can wait till it comes out. It'll be good or it won't. There's Rome Ross.
Hey, Rome Ross. I would always be scared if Godzilla. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Well, fortunately, he doesn't actually eat.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, he absorbs radiation. That's how he powers himself. Well, worse than that, can you imagine if he had to pee? How much fluid would you think would come out of Godzilla?
I know. The excuse the studios make, but it's not realistic.
He doesn't eat. I thought he ate fish and stuff. No, he absorbs radiation. He eats things that are radioactive, but he's absorbing the energy. He's not actually eating anything. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think one of the requirements to makers of Godzilla 1999 is that he had to eat fish. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, Godzilla 1999 was that female version, the American film. Mm-hmm. It wasn't really Godzilla. It was something else named Godzilla. Mm. It was the female. What is that? Oh, yeah, that won't happen. See, we don't talk about the 98, 99 Godzilla. Kaiser says, don't do that. Yeah, I know. I don't know what that was. It was not Godzilla. It was Godzilla in name only. It's kind of like that reboot of RoboCop. Mm-hmm. Wasn't RoboCop. You could have called it anything else. It wasn't a bad film necessarily, but calling it RoboCop didn't feel right. Call him police, robot, cyborg, detective, anything. Don't call him RoboCop and just steal the name so that you could sell a toy. Zilla ate fish. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know. Toho was so mad at the movie they made Godzilla 2000 and changed the character's name to Zilla.
Oh, did they?
Toho Entertainment. They own the rights to Godzilla.
Mm.
They turned around immediately after that film came out and made a Godzilla 2000. Mm-hmm. I think was the name of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what he's talking about? But they made a better Godzilla film than the American version just to show that they could. But that's what you do.
He looked way better, Robert said.
Yeah, okay. Excellent. Oh, too bad Johnny left.
Yeah.
Johnny Future. I wanted to ask him something about because he's doing some autograph hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm not really big on hunting for autographs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have a couple. I have a handful of autographs, some odds and ends, and some wrestling stuff. But the prices recently, I think that's where I have an issue. Coming from back when I used to do Great Eastern conventions and stuff in the early '90s, and autographs were free. You know, it was part of the show. You paid to get in. You could get some stuff signed. And if you did go to a show like one of the big sci-fi shows and you got an autograph from a table, it was like $10 or something like that. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, cool. You could bring in a picture or bring in an action figure or someone sign it or a comic book. And nowadays, the incredible amount of money where the incredible amount of money that they are demanding for autographs plus a selfie. You got to pay for a selfie. You got to pay for or get a combo deal, and you get a selfie and the autograph or something like that. But some of these autograph prices from some of these people is way up there. And you know, I get prompts from CGC because they do a lot of private signings, and they got Robert Downey Jr. right now for a private signing. They got a window for him, and it's $750.
But what is he signing?
A comic book. You send them a comic book. I presumably an Iron Man comic.
Yeah.
Because he's Iron Man, even though he's the cinematic Iron Man and has nothing to do with
that's
comics.
what I was about to say.
But you send an Iron Man comic, he will sign it for $750, and then they will grade it and send it back to you.
But what if you have a picture or a poster of him as Iron Man?
I don't know if they're going to do that because that's a different pricing scale. They will price posters. I mean, they will grade other like stuff, printed material, but it's a different category than a comic book. So I don't know if they're going to include that because really, I mean, the service they're providing is doesn't add up to $750. That's going to Robert Downey Jr. If you want him to remark, and that's when you add something extra, okay? And he will only give you one of two choices for remarking. He's not going to do requests. He will either write, you know, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark or Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, right? 1,160 for the extra line of dialogue.
Wow.
So it's like $410 extra, and it's like, wow. And you know, I'm coming from an era which for me doesn't feel like it's that long ago, where Robert Downey Jr. would have been sitting at the table signing autographs for free at the show, or charging on something small. Like I've even said that I've been where Sam Keith has been doing signings. I've been at shows in the '90s where McFarlane was doing signings for free. How much is McFarlane going to charge you for an autograph now? And I as this just continues to go up and up and up, and I think Harrison Ford was doing it, and I want to say Harrison Ford was it was getting more than $2,000 for an autograph.
Oh my God!
And I know he's a big star, but
that big.
God, is it worth it? Is it worth it, guys? Because it's not really. People look for autographs to add nostalgia to something. Are you? Some people do it for value. They think it's gonna. I hear that a lot with pops.
Yeah.
And I'll let you catch up because I know people are saying some things here, but they say, "Oh yeah, you get the pop, and I'll get it signed, and it'll add value." Yeah, you think so? Especially when it's something like, I know one that's been done around here a lot, who was at Plastic Empire, does a lot of autograph sessions.
Yeah.
And they get a lot of times, I think he's been there 3 or 4 times actually. The guy who was the kid in Gremlins, and he signs Gremlins pops. And it's like, well, you're signing a pop of Gizmo. There is no pop of you. Because Gizmo was a puppet and you were the little kid on the movie. And I don't know how much he charges for it. It's at least $40. But that's not adding value to it in the long run.
Yeah.
And if you're seeking autographs for value, you're probably not going to get it. It's not like back in the old days where if you have an autograph of Houdini, it's worth a fortune because he probably signed 100 things his whole life. You know, you see what I'm saying? If you want Lou Ferrigno, we talked about him earlier, to sign something because you think it's going to add value, he's been signing stuff since 1988. How much do you think his autograph's actually worth? I feel like you should get it for the nostalgia, not to add value, but they make that impossible if they're going to be charging astronomical prices for it.
Yeah.
Like I met Gil Gerard and Felix Silva, who was, of course, Buck Rogers and Tweaky in the original 70 series, and $40 a piece to sign my Mego Buck Rogers and Tweaky. I'm happy with that. I'm a fan of the show. Hey, I just wanted a signature on it. I don't think it's going to add value to it. But if they wanted $500 a piece for it,
you wouldn't have got it signed?
No, forget that.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of.
I mean, thoughts. I know people are buzzing here. I just.
Yeah, that always disgusts me. Hey, can I get your autograph? 2 days later, but buy my autograph, $500. Disgusting. And then they're still talking about King Kong, talking about amongst themselves. Some people are still talking about that. That's in Mexico said that he'll pass on Tony Stark.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna charge an extra $410.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
That's ridiculous. I'm not a fan of I'm not too much of a fan on signatures, autographs. So
she has some.
I have some only because you gave it to me, but I won't go out seeking an autograph. I won't go to a show. Like I know some people, and I've heard some people say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to this con because the guy that plays Michael Myers and this Michael Myers is going to be there." And it's like you don't even know who is in that costume. You know what I'm saying? Because you never saw the face. Or if it's a wrestler, maybe.
And she has some wrestling on. She has a bunch she took from me. I had a stack like this, and she's like, "Oh, those are mine," and I haven't seen them since. Sure. Robert, you have a cool. He says he has a cool poster of Luke Skywalker. Always wanted his autograph. That's Mark Hamill. But would it be with your name on it or just the actor? I'll tell you what, though. You wouldn't want Mark Hamill's autograph.
Why?
For 3 reasons. One, it's stupid expensive. 2, he's not going to sign it. He's going to put MH. He does not sign his name. He just puts his initials, MH. So you're going to end up spending like $1,000 or $1,300 to have Mark Hamill go MH next, because he will dismiss you that quick. He is one of those people that they talk about at the shows. He comes off like a real nice guy, but at those signings, it's like, yeah, okay, who's next? Come on, let's go. And kind of brushes people off.
Extreme says, I have autographs, but only hockey ones. I am not looking to sell them.
Just like one collecting.
Day. Just like collecting. Yeah. I have G1 Optimus Prime from the 80s.
Signed by Peter
Cullen. Cost $100 in 2010.
I had a sealed Optimus Prime figure signed by Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin or
now
Peter
I'm doing
Cullen.
Peter Cullen. I don't know. Yeah, we were talking about Macaulay Culkin earlier, and I got them jumbled up in there. It's like they knocked my brains over. by Peter Cullen, and it was a show exclusive. You had to have a pass at the
LJ.
LJ, hi,
hey,
how you
thank
doing?
You for stopping by. We really appreciate it. He just stopping in.
He it was a show exclusive figure. It was at a BotCon. They only made 75, so 75 signatures on that figure only. And he would, when they do an exclusive like that, he won't sign that figure again if someone brings him one. But Warren ended up with it. I gave it to Warren, my son. He's big Transformer fan.
Master Horse's Halloween comes out October 15th. I thought it was already out.
Oh, I don't know.
The new Halloween Kills. I think it's already out, but I'm not sure. Dama High, Robert, be funny. Optimus has the coolest cartoon voice, yes, and the most recognized, I believe. Peter Cullen had like the most recognized voice.
Yeah, Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Megatron's voice. Oh, really? Because the show, in my opinion, the original Transformer Hasbro show wasn't that great. It wasn't drawn well. It wasn't written well. The continuity and motion was bad. The stories were childish, but what it had was good voice acting.
Yeah.
Megatron, Optimus Prime, what's his name? Soundwave.
Soundwave, yeah.
Yeah, it had really good voice acting, and that's what people remember the best. Also, Thundercats. Oh, I love Mumra's voice acting on that show.
That laugh, I don't know how that actor does that.
The laugh is fantastic. It's one of the best cinematic, maniacal laughs, period. It's way up there. He is funny, and he is serious at the same time. And I really enjoy Mumra's character and the voice acting. Really great drawing and continuity in that show. It's decent writing most of the time. Most of the time, there's a few times where the writing is like, what the hell? What was this episode about?
No one. Just wanted to say that I love you guys. Your videos always make my day. You seem like genuinely good people, good fun people. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, the new Transformers that's on Netflix. I've been watching that one, and Peter Cullen does Optimus Prime, but it doesn't seem like he does all of the voice. It seems like when Optimus Prime gets angry, the voice changes. Yeah, when he's yelling or angry, the voice changes. And I'm guessing because Peter Cullen is getting older now, and maybe he can't do that.
Yeah, maybe.
They had to change the voice on certain parts when he's talking. Love to hear the conversation between Mumra and Skeletor.
And also, Mumra wasn't a pushover villain. Some of the villains, the classic '80s villains, they make them into pushover villains. They make them into comedy relief.
Yeah.
They did it with Cobra Commander. They did it with Skeletor, and those are interesting characters. And Cobra Commander has his pros and cons also, but they made him a fool on the show, and they made Skeletor kind of a fool on the show. But Mumra was no pushover. Mumra was no pushover on that show.
Today, Cullen is cult speaking Transformer, but I remember going into the movies, seeing the opener and thinking, who the heck is Peter Cullen or Eddie Idle? Eric Idle. Although I got to appreciate both later a lot.
Yeah, Eric Idle did the voice of Wreck-Gar, didn't he?
Ooh.
Oh, you let her down here?
The other cat wanted to go in the garage.
Hi.
What do you do if you accidentally crush the bubble of one of your collectible carded figures? Ooh.
Cry.
Ooh. After your heart stopped beating so fast and you put it back in your chest, then you can don't move the camera.
Kitty.
People don't want to see that.
Yeah, they do. Hi, baby. How you doing?
Trying to figure out how to get up here.
She's trying to jump up on my lap because that's what she does.
Anyway.
I'm right here. Come on.
Oh, yeah,
Come on, baby. There we go.
Do you open it or sell it?
I don't know. That's a matter of personal opinion.
Now
we're a little sideways.
Don Gladys waving hello picked up some vintage GoBots and
GoBots
Willow
cool.
Tonka toys.
GoBots are classic because they actually beat Hasbro to the punch. GoBots, the toys in the show, were out before Transformers. They got ahead of the game on that.
But back to the average gamer, sometimes if you crush, it depends on how bad I think you crush that bubble, because sometimes you can kind of push it back into place. Yeah. You can kind of work it back into place. But I don't know. If it's mine, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to try and push it back into place and, you know, set it over to the side or something. But I'm not going to open it to fix it. I don't know. Open it to fix it. But you can open it if you're going to glue it back, because you can always glue it back, but you got to be real careful not to tear the paper, or to tear the card. But I don't know, that's painful. Patrick says Jake the Snake one drew all over my face with the marker when I saw him 21 years ago. Oh, I guess really? On the picture. He drew all over the face on the picture.
I don't know.
Ooh.
I've heard is bad too is Virgil.
What'd he do?
At the shows. Virgil's kind of a butthole. You remember Virgil, $1 Million Man's bodyguard.
No one wants to know what's your thoughts on action figure photography. I've seen some really good stuff.
Yeah, some people are pretty good at it.
I've seen some where they do it outside and it's really nice. I've seen some that's inside where they use the different lighting and the smoke, and it's really nice. So I think if you put a lot of effort into it, it can be a really fun thing to do.
Yeah, if I had more time, I'd do it myself. I experimented with it a little bit, but I just don't have the time.
Andy Spinks, did you watch the 80s Twilight Zone with the store mannequin that come to life? There's a carded terracotta Skeletor on the shelf above the door of the toy store.
This toy Easter eggs in a lot of stuff. I mean, like, was it Different Strokes? Remember Arnold from Different Strokes? Mm-hmm. There's a couple episodes where he's playing with Raw G.I. Joe figures.
You know which one? Polka Dice. If you've seen the original, the first Polka Dice, and then the kids Polka Dice, whatever.
Oh, that's an 80s toy fest.
Mm-hmm. In the kids' room.
Not the clown. The stuff on the shelf.
The stuff on the shelf.
He's got some great stuff on the shelf. And there's another one I'm trying to remember. Somebody had Masters of the Universe toys. But if you look at some of those older shows, they often have 80s toys in the background somewhere.
What happened to cards for the Hollywood movies? 3 cards with stick of gum. I completed the King Kong poster from the cards.
Oh, trading cards?
Yes.
I don't know if they really do that anymore. That's kind of gone away too. Because they used to make Tops, especially. Used to make trading card sets of like freaking everything.
Mr. Magnet wants to know if we can do a show on how to store toys for long-term storage. Ooh, we've done that too for our personal self, not a video, but we have because when we moved from Illinois to Georgia, and our stuff was in storage for what, like 2 years, like 2 or 3 years. It was in storage, and we had it back up. We put it in. We bought shipping crates.
Yeah.
Off of eBay, and wrapped it up in towels and blankets and stuff like that.
Yeah, because
kept it really tight so it wouldn't shift.
Big packs of silica gel.
Yeah.
For moisture containment and stuff like that. Because you don't know what's going to happen.
I know. If you have clamshells, you know what the clamshells is. The stuff that's in the clamshell might be a little better, but if they're not, we wrapped ours up in the sheets, like the sheets that you would pack anyway.
Yeah.
We knew all of our stuff was going to be packed away for however long, and it ended up being like 3 years. So we took the sheets, the towels, T-shirts, anything that was going to get packed anyway, and we wrapped the figures in it, and we packed it like as tight as we could without crushing anything.
Yes, you don't want it too tight.
Yeah, if it had the original box, like a shipper box or something, we put it back in the box. If not, again, we wrapped it up, and then we sealed it up in a shipping crate. Some stuff we had in totes.
Mm-hmm.
We put in totes. But yeah, that's what we did.
And then if you have it in the clamshells, you can put a little silica gel package inside with it too, just in case. Oh look, Kaiser says he's going to donate $1,000.
No, to the cat.
Go ahead. Go ahead. The little dollar sign icon is right at the bottom there. Go ahead, knock yourself out. I think he's teasing me.
BrolyCon, I have box grungy and courageous robots in other robots that combine to form a giant robot.
Okay.
Mind blown. 1977 King Kong poster. Did you ever see that old black and white movie?
The Incredible Shrinking Man. Yeah, he fought a spider with a needle. Ooh. Like needle and thread, because he kept getting smaller. He was using it like a sword.
Teddy Ruxpin is creepy. Hey, Peter C. Toys.
Oh, how you doing?
Did you guys ever watch the show The Toy Hunter? Was it real or scripted? I've heard of The Toy Hunter, but I've never seen it.
I think they're all scripted. I think they're all phony.
Is The Toy Hunter the guy on YouTube that buys out storage lockers and is always full of toys?
He had a show on one of those channels. I can't reach it.
What, you trying to pull it close?
I was just gonna try to adjust it because it got crooked a little bit.
Oh, hold on, we're gonna move the camera. Give us a minute, guys.
Yeah, it shifted a little. Oh, you're scaring the kitty.
Oh well, he'll be all right.
It's okay, girl.
I got to move it over.
She's gonna get nervous.
She's
scary. She still is pretty scary.
She go sit down somewhere.
But it was
I'm all over the place.
Yeah, you're all over the place.
I think we are right now.
It was an actual show.
Oh, like
where's your cup?
The auction people, the one that the American Pickers.
Yeah,
it was like that. But it's a guy on YouTube. It's him and his friend, and he goes around to storage lockers, and he buys storage lockers. And I've seen a couple of episodes.
That's fake.
Every storage locker has like 100 totes full of classic toys, and it's like.
And in real life, every storage locker is full of lawn furniture.
It's full of lawn furniture, baby clothes, and raggy furniture that's all scratched up. But everyone he finds is all vintage toys. And it's like, yeah, sure. And then it's another guy that's on YouTube. I watched his channel a couple of times, and he travels a lot for work. So when he's, traveling, he'll go to yard sales and thrift stores and stuff like that. And he always finds like these amazing deals at these yard sales.
Not Justice Curry. We know Justice Curry. But that's not who she's talking about. No, Justice Curry is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, he actually goes to a person and buys out their stuff. We're talking about it's a random guy, and he goes to like random
storage locker sales.
Yeah, and he just happens. So he saw on Craigslist that it's a storage locker sale, and and it's full of stuff, and it's like, no, it's not.
Kaiser says she's a tubby kitty.
Yeah, well, she's fat.
And remember, she was a stray. She was already that big as a stray, but she's spayed, and spayed and neutered cats, a lot of them tend to gain a ton of weight. So she was already that big. And when she first showed up, I thought she was pregnant.
Yeah, really. I wanted to get rid of her because it's like,
don't get upset.
Because I thought she was going to have like a litter of 50 cats.
Yeah, I know. But that wasn't the case.
No.
Oh, you offended her.
Oh, yeah.
She took off. She got mad at you.
Only guy on YouTube I know is Justice Curry. Yeah, Justice Curry is, I think he's straight on the up and up. But this is a different guy. Because we watched Justice Curry. This is another guy. He in all of his videos, he's traveling around at, like I said, he works, but he goes to yard sales and thrift stores in whatever town he's in.
Yeah.
And like I said, he goes to, if you have to watch it, and once you watch a video or two, you know it's not real. And he always finds like this stuff that you just never see. Now, Justice Curry, on the other hand, he'll tell you, hey, I contacted somebody and he's gonna sell me his collection. Okay, that's one thing. You going to somebody who's selling you a collection. Not, I went to a yard sale, and this is one of the episodes. He went to a yard sale and literally bought like 30 items from one yard sale. Mm-hmm. And then when he got there, the person is like, oh, you know what? Just take it all for like $300.
Yeah.
And the stuff that he had,
it's worth like $6,000. Yeah. Or something. It's like, so okay, like, dude.
Yeah.
Sure you did.
I understand. Oh, Master Mexico, I understand that Kitty very much. It's just 2 weeks ago that I lost my first strolling dog after 12 years. Oh yeah, Dolly needed 4 years to get good, even 2 years without barking. Wow. He turned out
to be the most adorable thing on earth.
Yeah.
Sure. You get attached. You're a little companion.
When you go to, okay, I think the guy, the average gamer was talking about is Jordan Henmenberg. Yes, it was on the travel station a few years ago. Okay.
Okay.
Do you guys go to yard sales?
No, we haven't gone to yard sales in a long time. And, whenever we do, it's disappointing.
Yeah, it's always baby clothes, baby furniture, and just like, just
junk
stuff. And it's always overpriced.
Yeah, and if there is anything, they want something crazy for it.
Yeah.
They want something crazy for it.
And they always tell you, I saw that on eBay.
Yeah.
Then sell it on eBay.
Yeah, sell it on eBay. Good luck with that. Not that price. It's not going to work out too well. But anyway, all right, Kitty, golly. Anyway, well, we've been on forever.
Yeah, 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours. So we should probably go ahead and wrap up. And, we will do this again some other time.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully you'll be able to join us then.
Yeah.
So
we thank everybody for coming in. Exotic cars. What did I miss?
Oh, come on, man.
Just kidding.
What's wrong with you?
Great talk, guys. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for spending the time with us, for your comments and your likes and your shares. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, he says, we're tired. Well, it's not so much a matter of being tired as we have other things we got to do too.
Yeah, we got to go watch Dallas.
No, but yeah, again, thanks for joining us.
And stupid thing always popping
close
up.
That up. We appreciate you joining us. Yeah, it means a lot. We like having the conversation. We like reaching out and just sharing ideas with other members of the community. It means a lot. So next week we're not sure. We'll see. Probably every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For at least for right now, it'll be easier for us. But anyways, did the stream just start? Yeah. Okay.
Sue Ellen is going to survive. Sue Ellen is an alcoholic.
Yeah, Sue Ellen's it's JR's fault though. So
it is. JR did her wrong. I did not realize how bad JR treated her until we saw the episode where those two guys held them hostage in the house.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was painful. I could see why she was an alcoholic. But anyway.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.